box office over the weekend, Moana 2 won again. The animated sequel took the top spot this week in the haul of $26.6 million. Wicked took the second spot once again, and it pulled in $22.5 million. Kraven the Hunter debuted in third place this weekend with a gross of $11 million. Gladiator 2 was fourth. It had $7.8 million, and rounding out the top five is the animated movie The Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim, which was $4.6 million in its debut weekend. So that's what's ruling at the box office, friends. First story, though, Paula Abdul announced the settlement of her sexual assault lawsuit against Nigel Lithgow, calling the outcome...
I didn't hit her. I did not like her.
Calling the outcome successful. The two former American Idol colleagues resolved the case earlier this week, according to court documents filed in L.A. County Superior Court. And they are now preparing to dismiss the case, which was previously set for trial next year. Abdul had accused Lithgow of two instances of sexual assault, one during their time on Idol and another while working on So You Think You Can Dance. Lithgow denied the allegation, cited years of friendly communication between them as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they were on So You Think You Can Dance together for years.
Long time.
While the terms of the settlement remain confidential, Abdul expressed her relief, saying, "I am grateful this chapter has successfully come to a close and is now something I can put behind me. This has been a long and hard-fought personal battle. I hope my experience can inspire other women to overcome their own challenges with dignity and respect." Lithgow, for his part, welcomed the resolution, stating, "We live in a troubling time where a person is now automatically assumed to be guilty until proven innocent. I know the truth, and that gives me great comfort." Here's a huge check for you, Paula.
Here you go.
Wait, are there several allegations against Lithgow, or
A couple.
it's not just
Other
her?
people? I don't know.
No, from her, there are a couple. I don't know if they're from other people.
Yeah, I was wondering if there were other women.
He's one of the creators of the series.
He was the creator. Yep.
Both Abdul and Lithgow emphasized their desire to move forward at closing.
She's a liar. Here's your money.
Closing a chapter that has been challenging for both parties, apparently.
He's been accused by 4 women, Kathy.
Okay.
Yep, so a few of them. Sydney Sweeney has responded to body-shaming trolls by sharing a video of her intense training for her role as boxer Christy Martin in an upcoming biopic. The actress showed off footage of herself lifting weights, flipping tires, and boxing, alongside screenshots of cyberbullying comments calling her frumpy and average.
Why? Okay.
Yeah, that's the world we live in where Sydney Sweeney's considered frumpy and average.
Come on.
She had been signed, and I'm surprised she's playing this new role, this new biopic, because she had been signed to play Larry Holmes, which I thought was an interesting bit of casting.
She's a great actress.
She's an
I mean,
incredible actress.
She could have pulled that off. Friends and fans alike loved the video she posted online, rushing to the comments to let her know that they're cheering for her.
Yay!
Yay.
You stand up for yourself, super hot girl. You can do it, super hot girl.
Why don't you come down here with the rest of us and see what it's like?
It's like we're rowing below. Come on down here, super hot girl.
Lily Reinhart commented and said, "You look incredible, and your dedication to your project is very inspiring."
Yeah.
Sweeney's Anyone But You co-star Glenn Powell also commented saying, "This movie is going to be fire emoji.
It's going to be teased.
It's going to be hot," is what he's saying. Okay. So, yeah.
I think it's just an excuse for her marketing to put out footage of her working out. Yeah. She's not like she's ultra jacked.
No. But I mean, also, I would imagine, listen, for the idiots who do make comments like that,
right?
They're used to seeing her completely done up and completely posed and modeling perfectly.
Right,
and looking,
You're not exactly the way I want you all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And then when they see someone who's in a more average
a normal
attire,
person,
they're like, "Wow, you look horrible."
What's with the hunchback? I'm playing Quasimodo.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino stirred up a little controversy after criticizing the show Yellowstone.
Cover your ears,
what?
Kathy.
Why? What's the problem here?
That
lispy prick is coming after my show?
He admitted to being drawn in by the Western drama at first.
Did you say the lispy prick?
Yeah.
He ultimately dismissed it as a soap opera. He explained that unlike great movies where the characters and stories stick with you, Yellowstone focuses too much on character details without delivering a satisfying payoff. Fans of Yellowstone didn't take kindly to that critique. They flooded social media with backlash and accused the director of being dismissive.
All series essentially are soap
Soap
opera.
opera.
A series like this, he deals in concise movies.
Well, that's what I mean.
So that's it. That can wrap up.
Yeah.
This is an ongoing storyline, and as such, it will have the elements of a soap opera.
Right. As I would imagine all series do,
Right.
unlike a movie, like you said, that can wrap it all up.
As you can imagine.
And listen, and anyone who's having a lengthy discussion about a show or a movie may pop in that, hey, listen, it's a soap opera. It's not what I like.
He didn't.
You know what I mean?
He didn't say it was bad.
I'm not saying you're trash if you watch it.
Only morons.
I wonder what the demographic for that show is, though. If it's more female based and
Wine moms.
Well, no, but seriously, and if they have to go a little that soap opera route.
I know
Probably.
a broad swath of people all types who watch and love Yellowstone. So, I bet its demo is pretty wide.
Yeah, without knowing me personally, it feels like it might have a more female appeal to it. You've got strong female characters. You have really good-looking guys, so and a soap opera type of. But it's also got violence and
Woodchucks.
and
Cowboys.
lots of woodchucks. No, it's got
Strong men.
It may be pretty broad.
There is.
Strong women.
There is a lot of violence, and you learn early on in the entire series that they're not afraid to kill people off. So.
Now, apparently, there was the most recent episode that. Have you seen the most recent?
No.
Okay. Well, all right.
Carry on.
Fans of Yellowstone, like I said, didn't take kindly to this. One fan wrote, "Is there anything Quentin likes besides his own movies?"
Snap.
Tarantino, known for his own ventures into the Western genre with Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight, might want to steer clear of Yellowstone loyalists. Some joke that it could lead to an old-fashioned showdown. So Megan Fox's ex-husband, Brian Austin Green, he entered the chat after Fox and Machine Gun Kelly suddenly broke up last week. TMZ approached him coming out of a Starbucks, which is what they do
all the time,
and asked his opinion of the split, and he confessed that he hadn't heard about it yet. Green, who shares 3 kids with Fox, was then told that Fox found texts from other women on MGK's phone, and he said, "How old is he? He's in his 30s, right? Grow up. She's pregnant." And he also told the interviewer that he was wishing everyone involved well. He said, "I hope that the best outcome that could possibly happen happens."
it's the best news for him because he ends up looking like the. And she's saying flattering things about him. All is good with Brian Austin Green right now.
Yep. Ryan Reynolds admits that Martha Stewart's takedown of him was valid. Last month, Stewart allowed that he's a good actor, but not so funny in real life. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Reynolds admitted Stewart was probably right. He said, "I don't think what happens was designed to hurt anyone. That was just an incredibly valid observation that somebody made. Lots of people would say, I'm very serious if they met me. I can't imagine entering any room in which I don't intimately know the people where I suddenly kind of turn on and perform." And he also admitted that it's a perception issue he himself has. He said, "But I do it too. I'm a fan of the people that I'm a fan of people, and I love certain people's work. And I'm thinking when I meet them, I want to see little glimpses of that."
I think maybe you guys talked a little bit about this last week, maybe when I was out, but there's a YouTube series on Variety, and he and Andrew Garfield sit down and they interview one another, and it's pretty revealing. Like those guys talk, and Ryan Reynolds in particular talks a lot about how humor is his defense mechanism. Every time he tries to crack a joke, it's to deflect and not allow people to get in too deep. And so if you're interested in it, it's on YouTube, and those two guys do a good job of interviewing one another.
And they hit it off, and the dynamic is good. Yeah, he has talked about his struggles with imposter syndrome and all of that. That's a big part of what fuels him.
Yeah.
So it ends up making him who he is.
So this is pretty interesting over the weekend and not the way you want to spend your birthday. Jamie Foxx was celebrating his 57th at Mr. Chow's in Beverly Hills on Friday when, according to reports, some people at a nearby table were getting loud and obnoxious. Fox reportedly asked him to chill out as he was with his family, and someone from that table then threw a glass at him. What? It hit him in the mouth and cut. It cut his birthday celebration short. He was taken to the hospital to get stitches.
Oh, my God.
Guy can't catch a break.
Are you kidding me? The cops were called, and the investigation continues. Fox jumped on Instagram yesterday to update fans. He said, "The devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be stressed."
Do you know Through the Glass? Dick Van Dyke?
Dick Van Dyke.
No.
He just turned 99, man. Yes, sees
A
things to
party!
celebrate. Yeah. So he thanked his fans and plugged his Netflix special. He said what had happened was #1 on Netflix. And if you haven't checked it out, please go check it out from my heart and my soul.
I had meant to watch it. I did not get a chance to watch it. Instead, I watched the Yacht Rock documentary, which I love. Has anyone watched the...
No.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how he spells out exactly what happened.
Yeah. All right, if this is the 15th birthday, the 16th should be pretty epic. Scott Disick gifted his 15-year-old son, Mason, something special for his big 15th birthday. A Mercedes-Benz Mini G-Class wagon.
Oh, cute.
I mean, he doesn't have a driver's license yet. Right?
Nope.
Okay.
On his Instagram stories,
Thanks, Dad.
Courtney's ex wrote, "Happy birthday, big boy. Felt like it was only fair for you to get your first G-Wagon, even if it's a mini G-Wagon.
That is only fair.
It's still a wagon.
That's fair.
Absolutely.
Love you, son. Let the good times roll." By the way, a quick Google search says the mini G prices start around $60,000.
I mean, how do you ever make it up to a kid if his father's Scott Disick?
Right. That would not be fair.
Going back to Ryan Reynolds for a moment. He and Channing Tatum, their on-screen friendship as Deadpool and Gambit seems to have carried over into the real world. The two took in a Wrexham match with a few friends, including It Ends With Us star Brandon Sklenner and Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. Pretty cool.
Sorry, you said It Ends With Us, that movie.
Did you watch it?
I watched it. I was like, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh, my
The
God.
Blake Lively movie?
The Blake Lively
And
movie.
how is she?
She's amazing.
Okay.
It
She's
was
excellent.
way up there on Netflix's top 10, and I'd considered it, but I don't know anything about it.
It was so good. It's a book. It's a Colleen Hoover book. I actually didn't read the book. A lot of women did, and
That's what led to the success.
Right. That's what led to the success. And they did a Netflix series on an Ellen Hildebrand book. This is like the new thing.
Right.
A lot of people love Colleen Hoover. So I didn't read the book, but I watched the movie, and yes, I was like, I want to watch this again.
Okay.
Really?
It was really good.
I might check it out because I was flirting with the notion of checking it out.
After Tatum, Reynolds, and Sklenner headed to the Fat Boar pub where Ryan bought the house around and wished everyone a Merry Christmas. He also took a bunch of pictures of the weekend and posted those on Instagram as well. So that's
Now they're all buddies.
star-studded little get-together. Yeah, absolutely. All right, there's apparently no end to the public's fascination with zombies, and Hollywood intends to keep feeding it. Living Dead Media, which is actually the company's name, has announced that a new Return of the Living Dead film is due next year, the 40th anniversary of the 1985 horror cult classic.
I love the original Return of the Living Dead. It is funny and outlandish, and you've seen it, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Those all kind of bleed together to me.
Yeah. The whole conceit of the movie is that like Night of the Living Dead was real.
Okay.
But the Pentagon created the movie Night of the Living Dead to cover over the fact, and so they had the zombies stored in this facility, and it's totally absurd in the best way possible.
Which one of those ended with a nuke being dropped?
Return of the Living Dead.
That one freaked me out when I was a kid.
So, though it shares the name of the original, it's not a remake. According to the production company, this will be the new installment in the franchise, and it's set in a small Pennsylvania town in Christmas 1985, 18 months after the events of the original film. And it is slated for Christmas Day next year.
All right, let's see what they do.
Yep. Now, as soon as Barbie wrapped up its epic run at the box office, director Greta Gerwig was asked about about a possible sequel, and at the time, she said that it would take an undertow to drag her towards a follow-up, and some are saying that undertow has arrived. Reports are that Gerwig and husband/creative partner Noah Baumbach have come up with an idea for a sequel and have already brought it to Warner Brothers. Despite the reports via The Hollywood Reporter, all parties are firmly denying any forward motion on the sequel. Gerwig and Brumbach's rep said there is no legitimacy to this reporting, while the Warner Brothers representative added THR's reporting is inaccurate. But when a movie hits $1.4 billion globally,
They're going to do it.
it's quite possible something might come
They did
together.
G.I. Joe movies based on the G.I. Joe animated series. So was there any other toy or any other brand that is screaming out for this kind of treatment? None comes to mind.
I mean, like Hot Wheels and stuff like that.
But like an action figure thing?
Like a figure,
like a doll?
Like Barbie. There's nothing that I think of that has the same sort of import as Barbie
Like
has.
the way Transformers has.
Right, yeah.
Maybe Cabbage Patch?
I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Well, they're going to do a new He-Man, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did He-Man start as a toy or?
Yeah.
I thought it started as a cartoon first.
Did it? I don't know. I, can't
I thought it
remember.
was the
It was
toy.
a toy first.
Yeah. That's a good question.
It's weird because they seldom market toys on kids' cartoons.
No, because I watched He-Man before I owned any He-Man.
Okay. He-Man.
But I thought, okay.
He-Man.
He-Man.
He-Man. I don't know. Nick will look that up and we'll see if we can find
It
something.
started off as a comic book and then the cartoon and then, the toys then.
And the toy. Okay.
Yeah.
He-Man.
Owen Wilson will star alongside comedian Matt Rife in the upcoming movie Rolling Loud.
Wow.
The movie will apparently be an R-rated father-son comedy set at the music festival of the same name. The film is reportedly inspired by a true story, and it will focus on Wilson as an overprotective father who sneaks his 13-year-old son into the festival, and then things go off the rails. Rife will be playing a reckless co-worker of Wilson's. The movie actually started production this weekend at the Rolling Loud Festival in Miami.
He's coming to town. He's going to be at the
Wells Fargo in, July?
Yeah.
November?
And then one last thing, Bryan Cranston has been leaning towards retirement. Frankie Muniz has moved on from acting to go race to a racing career. So when Muniz hinted that the OG cast of Malcolm in the Middle was considering a return to the Wilkerson household, it's still something of a surprise that a 4-episode limited series reboot is coming to Disney+.
I would have to check this out because I did watch the series.
Muniz and Cranston will be joined by Jane Kaczmarek, who portrayed Malcolm's mom in the series. According to the storyline, Malcolm and his daughter are drawn into the family's chaos when Hal and Lois demand Malcolm come to their 40th wedding anniversary party. Casting's underway to flesh out the cast. No word on a premiere date as of yet. Apparently, it's going to be a 4-parter.
So Danny Masterson's brother
Yes.
was in the original series.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to return as well.
Yeah, good question. All right, we have some clips to play. Carry On is the tale of an airport security worker desperately fighting to prevent a dangerous passenger on a Christmas Eve flight. And in this clip, Sophia Carson.
Hang on, we don't have that clip yet.
What?
Marissa, you sent over Elton John by accident.
Elton John is going to say something now.
He looked at that massive, beautiful, almost overwhelming.
No, that's not Elton John. That's Jude Law. That's the next
Jude
clip.
Law.
Is going to say a thing about Elton
The
John.
new film, The Order, follows a string of violent crimes and government resistance with the race against time to stop it. The film's director chose to shoot in Alberta, Canada, and here Jude Law or Elton John or Sophia Carson talks about how that altered the tone of the film. And I heard something else was just sent over. Here
He looked at that massive, beautiful, almost overwhelming environment of those mountains and lakes and forests as the sort of ancient, immovable earth looking at man, asking him to sort of sort himself out.
The Order is in theaters now. And the next clip. Carry On is the tale of an airport security worker desperately fighting to prevent a dangerous passenger onto a Christmas Eve flight. In this clip, Sophia Carson admires the strength required in her character.
I also loved very much so that she was never a damsel in distress in the film. She's never weak at any single point. Even when she's in danger, she gets herself out of that situation all on her own. And I think that's a really beautiful thing for women and girls to watch.
I don't think I want to see it.
Carry On happens to be in theaters now as well. And there you go. That's the entertainment report for this morning. Monday, we welcome you. We have something special today. We're going to reveal the lineup and the on sale and the date and all that stuff for Barbecue 2025. We're scheduled to do it around 9 o'clock this morning. So if you want the deets, you got to stick with us, friend. We also have a couple of guests on the program today. Mr. Skin is checking in. We'll do the top 10 nude scenes of the year.
And there's some good ones.
Like Steve said, it wouldn't be Christmas without Mr. Skin. So we'll talk to him. The very lovely and talented Alicia Witt is going to be checking in with us. She's actually performing tomorrow at the Sellersville Theater. She is a very talented musician. So we'll talk to her, and we'll get into whatever else we get into. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. Listen up for your chance to win passes to Christmas Miracle as well. I guarantee you we'll have your chance to win. Stay put. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
I mean, there is a separation of church and state, right? So is morality a church thing?
Wow, this got a lot deeper than I thought. We were simply playing a goofball, but you want to work out whether prostitution or the sex trade should be legitimized.
Well, maybe we should put them in malls.
Let's talk about abortion. Let's lighten things up a bit.
How do we want to proceed into the next thing that we're going to do?
Well, I think we should. Where did Bill go? Oh, Bill, could I trouble you to come over here? I got to ask your opinion on the air about something. If you
Bill
could.
Weston, man about town.
He just goes, oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Yes, well, the real reason we have rused you into this studio is to offer you our thanks and congratulations, and allow me to read the words of Kevin Gunn, if I may so attempt.
You certainly may, sir.
So, we call him the man about town. We kid him about his kitchen cleaning, dashing wardrobe, and how he presides over meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. He's always open to ideas, but he often reminds us that, quote, this is not a democracy. Probably a good thing, too. Can you imagine if the Preston and Steve show, me, Jackie Bam Bam, Jackson, Brent, and the rest of the MMR staff were left unchecked to their own devices? Or if there was no one to say, let's think this through? Or have you considered what might happen if, or the building might not go for that? Or are you out of your freaking minds? You want to do what? But there it is. Bill Weston, the adult in the room. He is our leader through a business that is open 24/7, 365 days a year. He has to deal with the creative types, the executives, the sales staff, the accountants, the consultants, the concert promoters, the bands, their managers, countless live events, listener comments, office demolition and construction, and it is quite a job. He does all of this with a measured demeanor, self-effacing sense of humor, and a wealth of experience and wisdom. This year, he has also taken up the additional task of overseeing MMR's 50th anniversary celebration and has done so, might I say, with limitless energy and incredible savvy. So, in addition to being the man about town, Bill Weston is also the man about music, the man about programming, the man about administration, the man about meetings, the man about sometimes saying no. In short, the man who's all about this radio station. And that is why, and probably to his chagrin, we, his staff, award him the well-earned and long overdue recognition as the Rock of MMR.
Go.
Thank you. Thank you. That's no idea. And yes, to my chagrin, because this was something that we came up with to award to or recognize people that don't get recognition.
The unsung.
Yeah, this happens just a couple of times a year. This award is handed out.
Right.
It is a giant rock on a platform, and it's got the MMR logo, and then it's got little spaces for whoever might be the rock at any given time.
Yeah, like the Stanley Cup, the names are added to the rock. Right. And now we add Bill's name to that.
That's I'm touched, and I really appreciate the sentiments expressed in your missive. Who wrote that?
Kevin wrote it. My
Thank you,
presentation, but entirely Kevin, who is a genius and brilliant and one of our great ones. He wrote the words.
Yes, my reward is I get to work with really talented people who are in much better positions to act
stupid
freely and
freely.
Well, the idea, the words that Kevin put in there, you want to do what? Which mostly applies to you guys.
Yes.
You want to light a refrigerator on fire in the parking lot and then add 7 cars to the mix and see if we can cause a giant mechanical explosion?
Yes. That's
I
a
mean,
good one,
consider
too.
what we have done in the last 15 years. to just imagine what he has said no to.
Oh yeah. Well, then tolerating a pony coming in.
Yes.
Well,
Kathy.
he didn't know about that one.
Yeah,
though.
never.
Some things you beg for forgiveness.
You just don't apprise him of.
I thank you very, very much. That's like I said, my reward. I was just came back from a long motorcycle trip out in California.
Right.
Actually went through Petaluma, Pierre, and I was telling these guys that I was hanging with, just regular guys, retired cops and plumbers and whatever. I said, I still love my job. I am blessed to be able to work at WMMR with people who care, and actually their first response to something that needs to be done isn't that's not my job. It's to, how can I help? Right. And it's that kind of atmosphere that we have, and we involve our listener because they're an integral part of that radio station. It's a great thing. So this is very cool. I appreciate whoever took the initiative.
A complete surprise, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had no idea. I was over in engineering looking at floor plans. And Chuck says, we need you in the studio. I said, they need more time off. What are they going to ask for, more vacation time? Preston's complaining about too many live reads. I'm like, oh my God, what is it?
But the thing is, every one of us has worked for insane program directors at various times, and I think the nature of the job drives people over the edge, and for some reason it has not done so with you. You've retained this balance that even if you're pissed at us, you present it in a nice way, and you don't call someone while they're on the air and say, you should never have done that. You wait until they're off, and then you take them in and have them strapped down. And you truly have this balance and this calmness that is in a frantic group of madmen and women that we are. You really are a father figure that doles out a lollipop when needed and sends you to your room when needed, but does so in this balanced, calm, and reasonable and nice fashion.
Thank you for saying that, Pierre.
There's really something extraordinary about it.
They say in teacher, sometimes you teach what you cannot do.
Right.
You guys do something that I wish I could do. I started out as a disc jockey and was pretty mediocre at it, So I respect and appreciate what everybody does and the talents in this room, on air and also in our programming and promotions department. I appreciate that. And
you get a parking spot now, too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It comes with a parking spot.
And one other thing, he's worked so hard on this 50th anniversary.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
He's pulled out, he's found archive selections I didn't even know we had, and I've been here for a long time. I mean, he found America singing A Horse with No Name. He found...
We had to steal that back from the guy who stole the tapes from us.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, he's found so many cool things and gotten, really worked the Foo Fighters thing and the Bon Jovi thing for these special 50th parties that we've had, and U2 and all these other things. And he's just, on this 50th alone, he's really
And the fact that he forged on even after learning that it's the 49th.
Right. Right, yeah.
Counted.
Yeah.
I mean, almost single-handedly ruined the Bon Jovi concert. I mean, I don't know anybody else that could do that.
That gave us a great story, though, for on air.
If you hadn't heard, we did a group photo right before the band took the stage, and they all have in-ear monitors and these little, what look like Walkman kind of thing attached to them, power pack.
I was wearing this jacket, by the way, and it got hooked on the button on my coat, and it yanked it out of his ears, and he gave me the dirtiest look.
They are seconds. I mean,
Wasn't Bill's fault.
No, it was nobody's fault. But they were they were running on the stage, and they stopped to do a group photo. And then in one of those bizarre Spinal Tap, truly moments, John's wire that goes from his ear to this little backpack that they all have in their pockets caught on Bill's coat.
Well, that's what you get for wearing a blazer to a rock concert.
I know. That really wasn't my fault. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right.
All right.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Pierre.
Bill Weston, the rock of MMR and Man About Town.
He is the S.
Yep, absolutely. The ESPYs are stupid, but I didn't see it. Marissa, you watched it. How did Danica Patrick look? She was hosting it, right?
She looked good. You know who looked really good?
Pretty much all I'm concerned about. What?
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale
Of course
came
she
out.
would look great.
Why was she there?
Yeah. Is she a wife of someone?
She presented, I don't know if she's promoting something maybe, but she presented best championship, I think, which went to like
Best
the Astros.
championship. Best championship. That's a category.
Steve and I got up close and personal to Kate Beckinsale when we were in Hawaii. She was promoting the movie Pearl Harbor, and she was at that time, Steve. I remember us going, "This is the most beautiful human being that I've ever been in close proximity
You and I
to."
were like, like in Zoolander. We could not understand what is this thing? What is?
We're just hitting things.
I mean, it's like no human looks like that. And then you have the other end of the scale, two sloths like us.
Oh my God. She comes walking closer. We just start bouncing up and down a little bit.
It's okay. It's okay. Here, here's a gummy bear.
Then he calmed down a little bit. Our next guest is excited to be here. He was just talking about the Eagles' Super Bowl victory because last time he was here, Bo Allen was in studio.
That's right.
And they got to hang out together.
Bo Allen was like ecstatic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pauly Shore is here with us.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
It was like Bradley Cooper against Mark Wahlberg, right? Is that what the vibe was?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hilarious, right?
It really was. Yeah.
It was great.
And Mark
I was so happy for you. First of all, congratulations. And I'm not just saying
man.
that. I love sports. I'm obsessed with sports. So I was really into it, and I was so happy. I like that pass that he did.
Yeah.
The side pass.
Oh, the Philly.
Right in their face, dude.
No,
that was like straight up right in your face.
Yeah, they pulled out a trick play there. And
it was right in their
everybody
face.
out.
Belichick's like, what? He starts sweating, and then the big Samoan guy threw his headphones on. This is crap. What's going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In LA, because here the sports celebrities they're the biggest celebrities.
Yeah.
It's like the sports guys, and then like your news anchors and stuff like that.
Right.
Like who's bigger out there?
I was. It's funny. I was at the there's an exclusive club called the Soho House.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of the Soho?
I have heard of it,
So they're like in LA, New York. I was there and I saw. This was just 2 weeks ago. I saw Carmelo Anthony hanging out with Russell Westbrook, and they were just sitting there, and I freaked out. And I'm like, I love it.
Do they notice you? I mean, because you is there any?
Yeah, they're like, man, keep that guy away from me. It's scary.
Thanks, Kath. So here we are on the 16th day of December. We personally do until this Friday, and then we're off for a few days after the holidays. So, this is it. We're in the absolute home stretch of getting the stuff bought for gifts now. If they need to be delivered, or if they need to be sent out, we're starting to hit, that point where it's past the point of no return. So this weekend at our house was Rochelle went into full, wrapping extravaganza mode with stuff just littered all over the place.
Right, an explosion.
Yeah, that whole thing was taking place. So that's fully in people's minds. I saw this article. This woman wrote this. She was writing it about her own husband in the fact that she said he is 40 years old, but he is a big kid kind of husband, and what she buys him usually are just children's toys.
Mm.
Yeah, so like in the past, she has gotten him a orange and blue Lego McLaren Formula One car, which had 1,400 pieces in it.
Sounds pretty cool.
Remote control helicopters, Lego models of the Titanic and pirate ship, figurines from Big Trouble in Little China. And kidults, we've heard that term before, right?
Yeah. What adult man gets toys?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't Of course, I completely get it. Yeah.
So adults that buy kids' toys. So I thought it might be interesting if there are any adults, full grown. I mean, like beyond, just into your 20s or anything like that. Full grown adults, what child's toy, are you actually hoping to get this year, whether it be for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating? 215-263-WMMR.
As an adult, I did ask for something that was very kid-like for years, and my mom, like as I was an adult, would still get it for me. But a coloring book and crayons. I will still to this day, like with my nieces and nephews, I will sit down and color with them, and like I get mad if they scribble the crayon.
They F it up?
I'm like, I just spend time on that, and you ruined it. So thanks
That
for
became and for a while was a big trendy thing. It was like do
They
you want
had,
it?
well, they did have adult coloring books, but
I have one, the Die Hard coloring book.
Well, but those are usually, a lot of the adult coloring books are very small, like abstract art where you're coloring in, and a lot of people use colored pencils. No,
Yes.
I want crayons. I want the big pack with like every single color with the sharpener in the back and the coloring
The full
book.
thing.
And the full big picture coloring book. I love it.
Old school. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way you
I
want
dig
it.
that. Yeah.
Why not pencils?
They're not as fun.
Okay.
They don't color. You can't really shade, Nick. You can like blend. I like blending with the.
But you can sharpen the pencils more easily.
You can sharpen the crayons with the sharpener on the back of the box, Nick.
It's not as easy.
It's got a built-in sharpener right in the
Talking
box.
about, and then you get those fun little things all over the place, and they stain everything.
I'm just a little surprised because to me, anyway, in my mind, pencils are a little neater than
Yeah,
crayons.
you're right. You
so
are
I
right.
thought you would err on the side of neatness over accuracy when it comes to colors.
Nick, I appreciate that, but I swear, I like the way that the crayon like glides on the paper.
You love it. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, it is.
Is there a toy that you?
No, and I was just thinking about this
I'm
because
surrounded by toys.
I had, I tried to give a list of things that I wanted this year, and I'm just coming up empty, and I always feel like, like Rochelle always wants to get at least one good-sized gift to give to me. I couldn't come up with anything. Last year, I asked for a golf bag. I didn't even really need a golf bag.
Right.
But I asked for one. I just wanted to give her something big to give. This year, I got none at all. So I probably should ask for more toy type of things.
Something fun.
Something to play with.
No,
But
video
sometimes
games don't count, right?
No, video games can count.
Kinda.
Absolutely.
They fall under that. I'm looking for more traditional, plaything toys in this particular conversation. But yeah, I like video games. I got 3 really great video games. I'm in the middle of the second one right now. So
Right.
But adults do play video games, So
It's true. You're looking for something that's more classically.
Yeah.
I tell you what, years ago I got, and I damn well wanted it, and I got it for Christmas. Remember those old Fisher-priced? It looked like a camera, but it had, you would crank it, and it was clips from like Pinocchio and Fantasia.
Yeah, there was actual film in it. As you tried it.
I got that for Christmas.
No way.
Yeah, I had to be like, 41 at the time?
Yeah.
I wanted it, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
No, but I had it for a long time.
Okay. All right. I've gotten toy type things before, and it seemed like a neat idea, and then after a while, it was like, I'm not really going to play this.
The last thing you want to do is, so you hit a certain point where you're like, just buying something to buy something for Christmas. You don't want to do that. But it is kind of, if you can exploit that, it's for, listen, like, I asked for a laser pointer one year for Christmas because they just come out.
Yeah.
And it's not a kid's toy, but I had no purpose for it. I wasn't doing PowerPoint presentations.
I mean, you do have 9 cats.
I do have 9
that
cats.
That had to have been fun.
One of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever gotten came from Rochelle, and this was probably, 10 years or more ago. And I had told her this story about when I was in kindergarten.
Yep.
You remember this case?
Fire truck?
Yeah, I was in kindergarten, and I never got to play with the fire truck. It was like the most coveted toy.
Like a Tonka fire truck?
Yeah, it was like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is in the 1970s.
Oh, yeah.
And so and it was first come first served when it came to the toys at kindergarten, and I never, not once that whole year, got my hands on the fire truck, and it just really bummed me out. She got me a fire truck for Christmas.
Did you enjoy it?
So cool. Yeah, and I still have it.
You still have it?
It's a big one too. With the it's
the ladder?
You put batteries in it, and the ladder works and swings around. It's got
what you want,
sirens and
man.
all that. And I will never ever get rid of that. And and I don't play with it, but it's sitting up in this room where we kind of keep toy type stuff.
I get it. There's something visceral, nostalgic, tactile.
Yeah.
It all works. That's what these toys that spark these memories are wonderful.
Let me get some calls. I have Jenna on the phone. Hey, Jenna, good morning.
Gadzooks, guys. How are you doing?
Great, Jenna. Gadzooks to you. What's up?
So over the last year or so, I've been on a Squishmallow kick.
Squishmallow.
I don't know what a Squishmallow is.
like rounded and they're really soft and the material's just different and they're just huggable and I sleep with one every night.
All right.
So I've collected almost 200 over the last year.
Oh boy.
How big are they? How big are they, Jenna, size-wise, in your hand?
The biggest one that I have is about 40 inches.
Wow. So
Actually, a Pokemon one.
okay, but like they range in like are they like basketball size usually or softball or how big?
Yeah, like 14 inches is usually like the normal size of them, but they go anywhere from like they have minifigures that are almost an inch high up to like 40 inches.
And this is
So they
not
have a range of different sizes.
this is not a judgment statement, but why 200?
So they're just different ones. Like there's Pokemon. They just came out with the Wicked collection. So there's different collections. So I just bounce around and collect as many ones as I want. And there's like limited edition. I have like 15 different Halloween ones. So they're just fun.
Yeah, you got the collector's bug, and that's what you're and it's kind of fun to do that, isn't it?
It is. There was a woman who just won the Guinness Book of World Records, and she has over 3,500 of them.
Oh my God, Nick, it's like the new Beanie Baby.
I guess so, yeah. And once you start, you can't stop.
It becomes
It's very hard.
well. Listen,
tell.
the joy of the actual search, Preston. Like you remember when you were searching for that kid's book that you wanted so badly.
Yeah.
The hunt becomes the joy.
Yeah.
The this. Oh, I think I can get it. I found it. Oh, there's. You go to a convention or whatever for somebody a little bit more inclined to go elaborate. I'll go to these conventions and see if I can find these things. But when you find it, it's like, oh my God, I found the Holy Grail.
Oh, well, when I used to collect the Beanie Babies, I mean, I would go to different stores that, I had a friend who also did it and she'd be like, hey, they have the Princess Diana bear or, whatever it is. And I would travel to go and pick it up.
Of course.
And then they started collecting dust and I became me and I got rid of all of them.
I became me.
I'm gonna go to Brian. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Buddy the Elf here. What's your favorite color?
All right. Nice. All right, Brian, how old are you and what toy do you want for Christmas?
I am 47. I asked for a Lego Fender guitar and a Lego Ultron.
Lego Ultron and Lego Fender. I have not seen the Lego Fender guitar. Is that a full-size guitar?
No, it's a small one.
And
how many pieces?
Yeah.
I think it's like 400 pieces.
Okay,
not too bad.
And are you a regular Lego guy? Or do you put these sets together from time to time?
When I get them, I have a massive Superman collection, and I've added like Masters of the Universe to it, and now just other things I grew up enjoying.
Oh, okay. We're looking at the Lego guitar now. It's pretty cool.
Cool. It's got a changeable faceplate on it, or a changeable body.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it.
And is that also a Lego amp?
Yes, it does come with a Lego amp.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool. Talking about the Lego stuff, I actually flirted with the notion of asking for the Lego Titanic.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty
amazing.
friggin' awesome.
Do you know how many pieces that one is, Steve?
Nick, I would be jumping into the deepest end of the pool on that one.
So that is the second largest.
Okay.
The largest one is the map of the world, which we have at home, and it's hanging on our wall. And
really?
They're actually, Steve, they're fun to put together.
Yeah.
Brian, don't you enjoy putting them together?
Oh, they're absolutely hilarious.
They're hilarious?
Oh, when I put stuff together, just my kids just look at the faces I make.
All right. Because it's torturous and fun at the same time.
Oh, I have a blast doing it.
That's awesome.
So
All
the
right. Thanks,
Titanic
Brian.
is 9,090 pieces, and yeah, Steve, there is like a bit of zen. My son's 18; he still likes getting them as a present, and they're expensive, but they're fun, and like they can just preoccupy you for hours.
Now, Steve, it's only $680.
Well, that seems totally affordable
if
for a
you
toy.
are interested.
Now, mind you, listen, it also, though, what I like about it is that it is a breakaway. You can see the different parts of the ship in the interior part of it. That's what my understanding.
Oh.
Has any of you guys built the Lego Death Star?
No.
Yeah, yes,
You have?
I didn't,
Yeah.
but yes, Jace had it. He built it. It sat on his desk for a really long time, and the cleaning ladies knocked it over.
Oh, my God.
I know. And it was like, and he was like, what do we do? And I was like, oh my God. And we were like trying to put it together. There were missing pieces. And we were like, that was the end of it.
Steve, we have the Millennium Falcon on Ben's desk at the house, and you can open it up so you can look inside the Millennium Falcon.
Cool.
It's really cool, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we did, one of our favorite ones was, we did the Stranger Things one, and it was Hawkins, and then you flip it upside down, and it was the upside down.
Are you kidding?
Really cool.
I've never seen that. So it was the town?
Yeah.
And you flipped it and you,
So it had, like, all the vehicles, and it was really awesome. That was a fun one.
What was the mechanism that allowed you to flip it? Was
you had to pick it up. And it was literally two halves.
Jesus.
And you could just pick it up. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, we're looking at it.
Isn't that awesome?
That is cool.
And you could flip it upside down if you want to. You could leave the upside down. It was pretty awesome.
Is there a way to get Legos that is not insanely expensive? Like, can you buy, not use Legos, but like...
With a gun.
Yeah, but Nick, if you don't get that set with exactly what you need, you can't. It's like there's something.
Yes,
and
the way they have them now, Nick, they're in packets, so they go in phases.
Yeah, I know.
And if you were to if your creation falls apart, you can still have all the pieces, but you don't know which ones go with which step of the way.
So
And
you're
there's
saying
thousands of pieces.
You're saying in the packaging when you get it, it is basically laid out in a way that helps you build it.
Yes. Yeah. There are separate stages that you build it in, and there'll be like 10 packets that
and the packets
and they're numbered.
Will be numbered. Yeah.
And once you lose that, you're effed.
They're just so damn expensive.
And no matter what you're putting together, and even if the packets are all organized, you're like, there's a piece missing.
You know,
I can't find it. There's a piece missing.
Maybe I'll just buy the actual Titanic.
All right, let me go to some other calls of adults, full-grown adults that want a kid's toy for Christmas. I'm going to go to Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, Nikki. All right, how old are you, and what do you want for Christmas, young lady?
I am 36, mom of two, and I either want anything Bluey related or Polly Pocket.
And this is for you.
Absolutely.
Not for your children.
So, Nikki, I've heard more than my fair share of adult women express their adoration for Bluey. So I think you're in good company. What exactly are you looking for again?
Just anything.
Any Bluey
I
merchandise.
have an orange car, and her name is Bingo. I have stickers all over it that are Bluey related.
Your car is named Bingo?
Yes.
I completely get it. I completely get it. There is a joy to it. You know, I mean,
it's such a wholesome little show for kids and their families to watch.
If you didn't have children, would you even know what Bluey was?
I did. My daughter's 7.
Without kids, do you think you would have ended up discovering Bluey and having a fascination for it?
Probably.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right, Nikki, be
I'm a
good.
huge kid at heart.
We'll see if Santa brings you
guys. Have a
something.
good
Thank you. All right, I'm going to go to Stephanie. She's actually going to talk about her husband. Hi, Stephanie. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
What's up, Steph?
Hey, I just wanted a quick shout out to my husband. His birthday is today. He's 43. And then I also wanted to let you know he wanted to get the DC Retro Wayne Manor Library playset from Batman.
DC Metro Wayne Manor
Library playset. So it's just like a figure that looks like the library from the old Batman.
The show.
From the
TV
Adam
show.
West show with the
Shakespeare.
Yeah, the bus that goes up and you turn the dial.
Great.
And in fact, the bookshelf slides away. Oh, I want this now too.
All right, McFarlane Toys, and we found it on Amazon right away. It's only $40.
Oh, yeah, it's already wrapped.
It's already
you already got it. Oh, good for you.
That's great.
He also wanted the Batwing figure, too.
Okay, I've got that.
Okay. And this is, and so does he display his toys, Stephanie?
Oh, yes. He just renovated our basement himself, and he has all his toys set right on top of the TV. So whenever we try and watch TV, we have to look at his Batman toys.
He's a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
I told the story on air. From my earliest memory of my mother, she allowed me to put my Batman poster up from the Adam West TV series on the wall in the living room near the TV so Batman would know that I was a fan. So that's followed me throughout my life.
Love it. All right. Thank you,
I
Stephanie.
told her she had to do the basement. I could not have it in the living room. It had to go in the basement.
I gotcha. All right. Thank you.
We tend to, and it's just something that's happened for a long period of time. I think we've grown to accept it, to dismiss this as like, it's a kid's thing. You're acting like a child. You're acting like a child. And I think maybe now we're a little bit more inclined to embrace the fact that it just generates good feelings.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. And if it's something that's, well, I like the Lego thing. It's kind of a hobby too. You know, you're actually working on it. So let me get another call. And I'm going to kind of switch gears for a moment. We're going to go to Brittany. Hi, Brittany. Good morning.
Good morning, It.
Good morning to see you, Brittany. What's happening?
I'm actually sitting in my parking lot at work. I'm a mail carrier, so I'm going to go in and deliver everyone's Christmas.
Nice. Well, what do you want?
My husband and I we were watching Home Alone, and we were like talking about how we wanted those talk boys so bad when we were kids, and we never got them.
Talk
I
boys?
was like, okay. Yeah, you know the one in the second Home Alone when he's like talking in it, and it like you like
Credit card? Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get that for him. And lo and behold, they're like $800.
Oh, my God. So this is one original made and still works. And so now it's a vintage because, it was popular from the movie. Oh, wow.
$30 back in the day. And I thought, why the heck did my parents not buy? It's $30. We just spent $3,000 on our kids.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
oh, my God.
We had it easy.
$800.
So no dice on the $800 toy, right?
You know what? We decided we're going to go to a Bird's Game instead.
All right.
All right. Love it, Brittany. Appreciate it. All right. Well, there's definitely a market for getting a toy as an adult, and it's okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. Play with your toys. Now, with that, I saw this. Today is apparently National Stupid Toy Day. It's celebrated on December 16th every year. So the question is, what is a stupid toy? What do you think? What was it? And let me give you some examples that are on this list.
Yeah, I'd like to hear them.
Beanie Babies are on the list.
Okay.
Mr. Potato Head.
I always love Mr. Potato.
We still have one.
Pet Rock.
It's not out, but we have it and we kept it.
The thing about the original Mr. Potato Head is it didn't come with a potato. It used to come with just the eyes and the ears and mouth and all that stuff.
You'd use a real potato.
Real potato.
Oh, okay.
And you would just stick it.
Only later did they include a plastic potato that was pre-perforated.
Yep. So this is the day to reminisce about toys that were just stupid. That just, for whatever reason.
I like Mr. Potato Head, though.
It was fun.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I didn't think that was a stupid one.
Yeah.
I'm trying now, and I'm trying to think of dumb toys.
Sometimes
toys you got and you were like, huh?
The dumb toys were my
Really?
favorite, yeah. Ones that just... when the Super Bowl came out, do you remember? So the Super Bowl was extra bouncy.
Yeah.
And I remember we're going to play baseball with the Super Bowl.
Oh, one
First line drive.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Forever. Like, what was I thinking?
The dumbest toy I've ever seen is that one where you flip the switch and then this thing pops out of the box and then turns the switch back off.
I love that thing. That thing cracks me
It's
up.
hilarious.
Where the hand comes out and pulls the switch back?
Yeah.
I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
So it's called like the useless toy or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
And you push a button, Kathy, and you push the button and it turns it on. And as soon as you turn it on, a hand comes out of the box and it jumps up and turns it back off.
Yeah.
And so there's Nick has found a video of it and you can watch it. It's called the useless box. And yeah, every time.
I've never seen this.
Hang on, I want to see the video. Yeah, you switch it on and then it pops up. It's not a hand. All right, so it's
That's
just
great.
this little thing. Comes in.
Wait, I love that.
Essentially, it's just like nope. Yeah.
That is so dumb.
Isn't that great? Oh my God.
See, that to me has a purpose. It makes you laugh.
Yeah. But the thing about toys, I remember as a kid sometimes getting some that my parents didn't put any thought into at all. They're just like, oh, here's a toy. We'll get it. The kid will love it.
You're like, this is a toy.
To remember the ones that I thought were dumb. Hang on. Let me go to some calls here, though. I have Brooke on the line. Hi, Brooke. You're on the air. Good morning.
Yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo! What's up, Brooke?
Good morning. So I was thinking back to growing up and getting the Barbie dog that would poop when you would push its tail.
Barbie
And you would
dogs?
have to- Yes, you would have to pick up the poop and put it back in the food box to feed the dog so that it could poop again.
So let me get this straight. You would feed the dog its own crap?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
That's perverse.
Oh my God, we'd found video of it. Oh, yes, it exists. And yes, you do feed it little pellets
Own crap.
It's crap.
of dog poop.
Now drink your own piss.
His name was Tanner.
Tanner?
I remember that
Tanner
name.
the abused dog.
Yeah, I
It's a
don't
good
remember
name.
him eating his own poop, though.
Wow.
Man.
Interesting.
Thank you for the trip down memory lane, Brooke. We appreciate it.
And then,
Of course.
wait, let's see the video in the back where it comes out.
Okay.
Okay, so I assume you lift up the...
You push the tail down,
my God.
and 3 turds fall out. They look like Tic Tacs.
They do.
They look like brown Tic Tacs. Oh, that's funny.
Man, that is a bizarre concept to teach a kid.
Uh-huh. And
Here.
they had to come up with the concept of it, draw up the artwork, then go through the process of actually creating it. It probably was a year or two
Right.
of man hours and time to get that thing together.
Tanner.
Wow. Nick, pull up a couple of text messages because I did see, some people are pointing out the Pet Rock was one of the stupidest toys ever.
It was huge, the Pet Rock.
Oh, here you go. Nick, thank you for pulling that up. The vibrating football game
Oh, yeah.
from the 1970s.
So there
I
was...
remember that. It was like a metal board.
And
Oh, yeah.
there was no way to incorporate any strategy into the game. There was no way to control the movement of the players.
Did you just watch it? Is that it?
Well, you were supposed there was a guy with a ball. You had offense and defense, and then I guess you tried to figure out how they were considered tackled or down, and then you would start again. We just used to throw after you play with those. We would throw marbles and stuff on there,
or change.
and turn it on, and change. Just see how much noise you can make.
I just remember my brothers fighting because somebody touched one of the guys.
Oh my God! For those who are too young to know this game, this will show you what it was like. Essentially, we were cavemen.
Yes,
compared to now. It was a small metal table that was designed to look like a football field. It had an on and off switch. It had a dial that you would turn to make it vibrate harder or softer. And then you had little football figures, men, and then you would line them up against each other. You would turn it on, and it would vibrate, and they would move in decided directions.
Your players would run in the wrong direction. They would run to the sidelines. There's no rhyme or reason.
But my God, everybody had that game.
Oh, they loved that game.
It sold like crazy.
The one that made more sense was the hockey.
Yeah, bubble hockey, or even before the bubble was on it, but the sliders.
Yes, at least that was something.
Yeah,
I hated that game.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like bubble hockey. I can do foosball, but bubble hockey. I hated that game.
I loved bubble hockey, but the table one, was kind of like that. That was way better than the football one. For sure.
By far.
But that would definitely rank up there with Stupid Toy Day.
Trying to think of other stupid games that were but I'm such an imbecile that I was always, even by the dumb games, I was fascinated.
Yeah, I mean, there's antiquated games, and then there's just stupid ones. I'm thinking of some like Gnip Gnop, if you remember that game.
I kind of like it.
What's Gnip?
So it was and we found out it was a comedian, I think, that told us that Gnip Gnop is actually ping pong spelled backwards.
Right, yeah.
Oh.
And it was a housed game that used, Casey it was an interior area that had ping pong balls trapped inside of it. And you would shoot them through these hoops back and forth. And I guess you try to get every color on the one side or something like that.
Do you know what was a game?
There was no strategy. You just banged on the levers to shoot them back and forth.
That was it. There was a toy. Do you remember a toy that shot air? It was like a big, almost looked like a big ray gun.
Yes, I remember it.
And you would pump it, and it would shoot like a.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the.
No. It was an actual. What
was the point of it? What would you do?
That was the question.
Shoot air.
You knock
Shoot
over
air?
empty cups,
Yeah.
or you knock over.
Oh yeah.
Remember that thing?
Face.
Yeah, or someone's face.
Yeah, it was the it was the Queef 2000.
The Queef 2000. Basically, that's it. Yeah.
No, but you know what? They had that one. air cannon thing that you would pull back and it had like a plastic bag.
Yeah, we used to have one here in the office. That was
cool,
kind of fun because it would shoot really far. Like
and
you
it was
could
concentrated.
You could knock stuff off of people's desks and whatnot.
So this is a better version of it.
The Airzuka.
Yeah,
that's what it was called.
There was a predecessor to that was nowhere near as mildly efficient as this one was.
You know what? Oddly enough, what toy I really liked, Steve, as a kid. There's no way they exist now, but it was the rocket that was water pressure powered.
Oh yeah,
and
loved them.
You'd put water in it. It was
you'd pump it, right?
Yeah, you'd pump it.
Yeah.
And that thing would go high.
That was a toy that when you would get it on Christmas or my birthday was in the summer, you would immediately play with it. I would run outside and start playing with it right away, and then stop playing with it 24 hours later.
Yeah.
There was also the one that was simply air powered, where you would have like a diaphragm that you'd stomp your foot.
Yeah,
down on.
those were good too.
Those were good,
and those are more foam,
right?
And they could really take. Yeah, those things would shoot.
They would
far,
shoot
too.
up. Yeah, and then you'd lose it.
Man, it would suck though when you would get a summertime toy.
Yeah, in the winter.
Yeah, and like Nick's saying, you would go outside and play with it, but it wouldn't last very long.
Well, like bikes. We always got bikes for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we were freezing trying to ride our bikes on Christmas Day.
And they eventually, now they're more of an Easter gift, I think, if you celebrate
Well, I've
Easter.
told the classic story of my gift that I wanted. It was called Soar. It was a styrofoam bald eagle. Got that on Christmas. Went up on the roof. And the whole idea was it would glide. It was essentially a large eagle that would glide. And I launched it from the second story of our house, and it caught a wind and never landed. It just
It's still soaring.
It's still soaring somewhere. Somebody pointed this out. Now, there are toys that are beloved in the hallowed halls of great toys, but are kind of stupid. And somebody had pointed out in the text that the Rock'em Sock'em robots were kind of dumb. I loved them, had several versions, and I love your story of Rock'em Sock'em robots, Steve. Your dad.
What was that? What?
Didn't he take it from you and your brother, and then he jumped on it?
Oh, yes, yeah. Enough of this goddamn toy. Oh, I totally forgot that. Yeah.
Hang on
my
a second.
God, I totally forgot that.
Wait, Henry's got a story kind of tied to Rock'em Sock'em robots. Hey, Henry, good morning.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. What's up, man?
Hey, we used to take their heads off and switch them.
You would switch their heads, so the blue guy would have a red head.
Yeah, and the red guy would have a blue head. And
Okay.
then you would like tear one arm off, and you'd have like a handicap fight. One guy would have one arm, and the other guy would have two arms if he was better.
Okay.
Yeah, man. We
So
beat
you
them up, man.
you would mutate them. I got it.
Yeah, we mutated them all, man. We beat them up, and then we would get our own boxing gloves and box each other.
And then,
in the boxing, man.
and occasionally, so those things were, cheaply made. That occasionally, if you had one where your own head would pop up simply by you throwing a punch.
That's it. It got
it
so
would become
worn
so
down.
sensitive
Yeah.
that it would just and it made that noise.
Yeah, and half the time you had like that jet fighter thing, man, where you had one handle on each side and you just slam it hard enough. You didn't even have to punch them. You just hit them with the whole body and check them.
Yes.
That'd be it.
Yes,
Yeah.
you just push the whole body forward and it would knock their head off.
They, for a
Thanks,
brief
Henry.
period, marketed larger size. Do you remember these? Rock'em Sock'em robots. So the regular Rock'em Sock'em robot would be about, I don't know, 1.5 feet tall, right?
Maybe.
So they had ones that were like 2.5 feet tall.
Okay.
And they worked better, but they were obscenely large.
I saw one time in that the catalog Hammer Schmagel or whatever it is, the one that has
Hammer
a really
Schlammer.
Yeah.
Hammer Schlammer, where they had like full human size.
Wow.
But they were like they were robotic.
Okay.
You could move them around. They had wheels on the bottom of them, and they were
That's
Rock'em
pretty
Sock'em
cool.
robots type of things. Oh wow!
Yeah.
We found a video of the very, very large Rock'em Sock'em robots, but their arms move too slow.
Way too slow. It's like there we go.
That's no
Head
fun.
pops up.
Stupid.
Yeah. It was a stupid game. But I wanted one.
Hang on a second. Let me go to. We were talking about stupid toys. I have Matt. Hi, Matt. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Greetings from beautiful South Carolina. How you guys doing?
Oh, welcome. We're doing well, Matt. What's up, bud?
Hey, you guys were talking about the gun that shot the blast of air.
Yeah.
That was the Whammo Air Blaster. It's actually one of those banned toys because people were taking the ends off of it and like throwing like pencils and rocks and stuff and shooting them at each other.
This is it up on the screen here, Preston. This is what I had, the Whammo Air Blaster. And so why did they ban them again?
People, there was like that cap on the end of it that just let the air out, and people were taking that off or enlarging it, and they would put like pencils and rocks, and it was shooting them out at each other.
Of course.
Before getting injured.
Let's turn this into a weapon.
Let's make this. How do we make this lethal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like portable lawn darts.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't remember that thing at all. All right, thank you. Appreciate it, bud.
No problem.
Take care, man.
That blue lever on the top, you'd crank it, and it'd build up the pressure within the gun.
Marissa had pointed this out. Here's a stupid toy, the clackers.
I had many sets of clackers. I was a good clacker.
Were you?
Yeah.
I was scared of them a little bit.
Well, they had them for they were made of like almost like a plexiglass.
Like a polyurethane.
And they would shatter. They would explode. And then they switched to the hard, straight plastic.
Yep.
I
was scared of them because, what's that?
I've seen people use it. It's basically like a musical instrument.
Okay.
Yeah, like a percussive instrument. You haven't seen
Are you talking
this?
about the ones on strings?
Well, no, I know what you're talking about, but essentially the people have turned these into something that.
That I don't know.
Okay, I would show you a video.
You would hold the ring. Mm-hmm. The balls would dangle.
Yep.
And then you'd start to move up and down, and by doing so, the balls would collide at
You'd
the
start
top
off by
and the bottom.
going clack, 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 clack.
And I mean, honestly, after a while,
there was only one speed you could go on, which was 50 caliber, automatic.
It was like the one with the loop around your ankle.
Oh my God! This was it. Skippo. Was it
Skip it.
Skip it. I hated that thing.
I'm so bad at it.
I couldn't do that thing. I tried. Now, I didn't try till I was an adult. I was like, wow, this is next to impossible to do.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that's a dumb toy as well. All right. And the sit
I was
and
so
spin.
good at that. I could do it for hours.
You could do skip it?
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you think of the hoppity hop?
Like the pogo ball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got
good.
those. We got a pogo stick or this every Christmas.
Pogo stick you could actually move on.
Yes.
The hoppity hop was essentially bouncing up and down on
was
a
jumping.
seat. Yeah,
It was
that's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only way to move.
We
was
were so good at
jumping
that,
it's what like someone with elephantitis in their testicles would be
Well,
experiencing.
it didn't propel you like a pogo stick. A pogo stick got you some feet off of the ground.
Yeah.
And that thing was just like, hey, put this between your legs and jump. Why don't you guys go jump for a half hour?
It was just another mode of transportation. You would
I'm going to take this to work.
No, I would like go down the street to my friend's house
You
on
would
that.
pogo ball to your
Pogo ball
Oh my
down
God.
the street. Yeah.
Wow.
There are things like roller skates. I've actually used that as a mode of transportation. You know, like usually it's just something you just you play on. You take them to the roller skating rink, but to actually go from point A to point B on roller skates, it's kind of weird, right?
Well, people do. They have used inline skates as a way to get around.
Different, but roller skates.
I don't know.
Like
I mean,
roller skating to the store.
I mean, it might look a little odd if somebody's doing that,
Yes.
but I mean, it's the same principle.
If you're going down the
essentially.
Schuylkill, it's probably going to look weird.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
On the way to work.
All right. Well, it's something to consider and reflect upon. Chat amongst yourselves. It's Stupid Toy Day today, officially December 16th.
Maybe put a toy on your Christmas list if you're so inclined.
All right, we do need to take a break. We got some guests coming up. Mr. Skin's going to be on the program. Alicia Witt is going to be joining us today. We are revealing the lineup and information about MMRBQ 2025. We'll get to that little announcement around 9 o'clock. We'll come back with a bizarre file. Wait a minute. Stop. Hold the presses. Christmas Miracle. I need to do giveaways for that right now. I'm going to take caller number 12 and 13 at 215-263-WMMR, and you will be able to join us this Thursday as we are headed to the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville. And 215-263-WMMR is the number, and it is presented by Phoenixville First. And it's Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. We'll be playing games. It's a thank you to you, the longtime listeners of the Preston and Steve Show. Need to be there by between 6 and 7 a.m. on Thursday. So let's get you on board. And we're going to give away several of these this morning. So call now, 215-263-WMMR. We will take a break and we'll get to the bizarre file when we get back. Stay put.
WMMR.
93.3 WMMR.
Man, that dude is scary. Keep him away from me. No, they all grew up with me.
Yeah, that's because you're
so there's like a connection there.
Your life actually from the MTV days and from the movies and from the access that you had. You talk about access and about celebrities and seeing celebrities and living out there in LA and on the Strip. And the Playboy Mansion you were a regular at. I mean, you have got the kind of stories.
I forgot about that part. That was the part that you carve out, those 7 years. You just carve them out.
What was that like in the heyday?
I just say the word heaven. I was very fortunate, very lucky, very blessed. My mom and dad gave me the most amazing life in the world.
Yeah.
And I grew up, right on the Sunset Strip back in the heyday.
I mean, that had to be amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I saw every genre, every band. From Iggy Pop to the Pointer Sisters to, X.
You seem a little, I don't know if jaded is the right word, but you're used to growing up with TV comedians,
No, I'm
actors.
a fan just like you guys are fans of people. I mean, I'm obsessed with Sean Penn, De Niro, all the great actors, Pacino, all these guys.
Celebrities who sort of blow that off or try to act as if that's not a thing.
If you saw me what people don't know, I'm just a normal guy, dude. You know what I mean? I just go home, I make my oatmeal. You know what I mean?
Make your oatmeal.
I smoke a little weed. It's California. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can't say that here.
No,
Sorry.
of course you can.
Yeah, you can.
It's legal now.
It's medical. Pulled off the radio. Sorry.
No, we're good medically.
It's legal. My friends in New York are hilarious. They come out to LA. My friend Tony. They just pack up a whole bunch of stuff because you can go. You don't need a medical thing. Yeah. You can go and just
get it. You were in Moscow and Jerusalem and spent some time there recently.
Yeah, it was my summer vacation.
First time?
Yeah, my first time ever.
I've always wanted to go. Always wanted to go to
or
both.
as the Jews say, Israel. Israel. But it was weird going there because it was basically every dude that I saw, I'm like looking at myself.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm Jewish. You know what I mean? These are my roots, so it's kind of like. It's kind of like just going back to, I don't want to say weird things.
Say weird things.
No.
Because I've always wanted to go to Israel. It looks fantastic.
It's great. It's actually, it's not what people think it is as far as being dangerous. You know what I mean? It's very... But, I mean, the geography of it is very interesting. It's Israel, and then you got all these kind of Arab countries surrounding it.
Yeah.
Heavily, though.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of Arabs that live in Israel that are very pissed off and bitter, it's hilarious to me, too.
Yeah.
Because they're basically... So do you know what the name of the Jewish money is?
Not off.
It's called shekels.
Oh,
How
sure.
hilarious is that?
Okay.
I mean, that's so Jewy just to begin. Hey, can I get some shekels? It's hilarious. You know what I mean? But imagine the Arabs having to pay shekels. They don't, give me your shekels. You know what I mean? Because they're on their land. Like in the Arabs people's minds, that's their land. The Jews stole their land.
Yeah.
It's all about real estate over there and religion and stuff like that. That's the big kind of, thing where people are fighting all the time.
But outside of that, it's known for incredible resort.
Yeah, it's kind of like Miami, or Brazil. I hadn't been to Rio or anything but like that. But Miami, where people are on the beach, and it's like that's Tel Aviv. But then you drive about 40 minutes and you go to Jerusalem, which is the holy city, which is amazing, which is the center of the universe. And I didn't even know this, but this is where Jesus Christ was crucified. I didn't know that. I thought I'm Jesus Christ. I'm not thinking he's Jewish and in Jerusalem, and you know what I mean. I'm just like most people. Like, sir, did you know that?
The Rick and Morty shirt.
Come here. Did you know Jesus was crucified in Jerusalem?
No, I did not.
You didn't. Where did you think Jesus was crucified? Come here.
I honestly had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, go sit back down. Sorry about him.
Because it's the Bible. It's the Torah part too.
I pretty much went there for my mom. I mean, that's why I went. My mom passed away. I was really close with her, and I wanted to just kind of bring her to Jerusalem, and I wanted to be with her in Jerusalem because both my parents are Jewish, and they never made it.
No kidding.
They never made it to Israel. There's a lot of people that are Jewish that don't.
Did you plant a tree in her name? Well, that's kind of an honor.
I didn't know that. I screwed that up. Sorry.
You can go back.
I'll definitely be back to Jerusalem.
Besides that, and besides all the other stuff that's going on, with you're busy, you have your podcast, you have all these other things that you're involved with.
Yeah.
And to the point of the documentary, is there in fact a documentary in the works, or is that just hearsay?
No, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's almost like it's got to be presented at the right time. You know, it's kind of like my agents have to present it to Netflix and Showtime and HBO at the right time.
You're a pop culture all-in-one. I mean, you were at the center of a lot of what, like before a lot of the. I was reading an interview with you, and you talked about running into Will Ferrell at some event. And, and he sort of gave you a lot of credit. Tell me what he told you.
Yeah, it was a Funny or Die event. It was like the birthday of Funny or Die, which is his website, which I do a lot of stuff with them. And
Adam McKay, too.
Yeah, and I came up to him, and he came up to me. It was just like, and he started mimicking me, and he started kind of like saying that I started it, and, kind of, you know what I mean?
So he was a fan.
That's nice to
he was
hear.
a fan, yeah.
Who's blown your mind recently about, again, like a Will Ferrell, or somebody just out of the blue, or somebody that you thought you weren't even on their radar, came up to you and was a fan?
Oh, man. I don't know, dude. It's too early for that stuff. I can't think. I like watching Donald Trump.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just because I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything that happens in this, it's like it is a reality show.
Yeah.
You know,
we were talking the other day about there are so many reality shows that I just can't stand, and that people watch that they hate, but they still watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know why people do that. My first inclination is to go, let's put me in a bad spot. Let me just change the channel.
Yeah.
Let me turn it off.
Yeah.
You know?
You watch it in doses, and the whole Omarosa thing is hilarious. Like she was taping people. I'm going to tape this. I think I'm going to tape this conversation. It's hilarious.
Did you ever run into her? Because you've done your share of reality
but I knew
stuff.
Donald Trump from back in the day.
Right.
Yeah, because he was always around the girls.
And he was at the mansion occasionally,
Always.
right? Yeah.
And also Hawaiian Tropic down at Spring Break.
Right.
with Ron Rice. Hilarious. Vince Neil. It was Vince Neil. It was Jim Kelly. It was OJ.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? It was
the stories.
Fabio.
Oh, my God.
It was the best.
That's amazing.
Dude, I want to see this documentary.
It was the best.
We had Fabio in here. He was awesome.
He was cool.
He was
He's
awesome.
cool, right?
He was,
Yeah.
Because Fabio understands Fabio. He gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah.
Jim Kelly, OJ,
amazing,
and our current president,
and
you,
and Fabio,
and Fabio,
and Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
They didn't like me because I was getting all the babes. They're like, "Get that guy out of here, spatch, bro, spatch."
I remember watching those and seeing you, and you were hosting contests and all that stuff, and I'm like, this guy's just swimming in it, just swimming in it.
That's how it was.
I know.
Back then.
Back then.
That's how it was.
What's happening now?
Now I'm just chilling, bro. I'm watching CNN,
Once you've starred in a movie that's nominated for an Oscar, it's safe to say that you're famous, right?
Yeah.
Well, Saoirse Ronan, who is 24 years old, still doesn't feel famous, though. Yeah, she's adorable.
Yeah.
I love her and the accent.
It's wonderful.
She's just thinking.
It's a garden party, asking inappropriate questions to Meghan Markle.
I love how they drop the G on ing words. Ronan continued saying she avoided reading about herself. She said,
I was farting.
What was that sound?
I was farting. Farting hard. You just know that'd be adorable. Just outside, standing in the glen, farting.
In the glen.
The glen. The morning dew collected on the leaves and grass. Yeah. Just decided it'd be a good time for farting. It does sound better, doesn't it?
Oh,
it does.
Oh, it needs to be a song.
Where were you, Auntie Saoirse? I was outside farting, dear. Farting hard.
There needs to be a song called Farting in the Glen.
Farting in the Glen.
You know what? I want to let Marissa vent for a moment because she posted something on Instagram yesterday. I got a lot of response. I thought it was kind of interesting. And there is a movement right now to phase out some plastics that we use in the world to maybe cut back on things that don't biodegrade, and they're clogging up, they're getting out in the water, in the oceans, or they're filling up landfills and so on and so forth. I know they're actually in the UK, there's a big movement to get rid of the plastic tampon applicators.
Yes.
And
Going back to wood.
No.
Ow.
Like George Washington's teeth. Martha Washington used wooden tampons. And they were not effective.
Well, they were balsa. They were very
They were
absorbent.
balls, a little absorbent. They left rings.
But the applicators, I saw Alice Eve, because I follow her on Instagram, had posted a video of trying to end that. So they would go with like a cardboard or paper or something.
My thing with these floating garbage farms that are in the oceans is that and many times they kill sharks, Case. So there's
some good we might be overlooking.
That's what they're trying to eliminate, stuff like that. And I can get it. Your thing sort of actually, believe it or not, Marissa, hit home to me because I think I have a level of passion about what you're talking about.
All right. Since I was a little kid, like I'm thinking like second grade, because I was in school in the 90s and there was a big push to not have the refrigerator open for too long, to turn off lights, to make sure that you turn off water, to conserve water. Yep, while you're brushing your teeth. I followed all those. It's stuck through my life. I walk whenever I can. I take public transportation.
You're like a contestant on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire
Exactly.
now.
I will do anything to save the earth. It's just second nature to me. I don't even think twice. I recycle, I reuse. But when I drink a vodka water, I want to be able to mash the crap out of the lemon and lime that come in my drink. And with these gosh darn paper straws, they get destroyed. And then I have this mushy straw in my drink. And it pisses me off.
So the gist of it is you do not like the paper straws because you do not believe they are resilient enough.
No, they suck.
Okay.
Whoever's making them, they have no integrity and they fall apart. And I just want a plastic straw. I'm sorry. I love the turtles.
Why not
I
just
love.
use a
Well, hang on,
Yeah.
Steve. I would. This is the only time I've ever asked to do this. Can I come over there and borrow your reverb for a moment?
Yeah, please. Oh, my God, it's a pleasure.
Hold on, turn it off just a second. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, this sounds like a first world problem.
But we took a long journey to get to the point that Marissa doesn't like paper straws.
I just had a realization, Preston. This is probably something that I deal with 3 or 4 times a week. Is that more of a first world problem?
Yeah.
That I probably have a vodka water 3 or 4 times a week.
Well, your alcohol addiction might be the bigger issue here.
No, the raging alcoholism is a secondary issue. The waking up in alleyways and
listen. We
errant knife fights.
Have you ever seen people drink sodas or anything that comes in a bottle out of a straw? You put the straw in the bottle.
Yes. Yeah.
I think part of now, do women sometimes, Marissa, opt to not drink out of a bottle or right out of a glass because of lipstick and a straw instead?
Well, lipstick or staining your teeth, all of those things. Or my mother would never drink anything out of a bottle. That would, for me, when you see a bride,
vulgar?
I don't know. There's just time and place for that, and I think.
She'd take the bottle, go over to the windowsill. There we go.
I love opening bottles that way.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a great scene in Overboard where Goldie Hawn comes back.
That's exactly what I thought
She's
of.
opening the beer that way.
Yeah.
I try. That hurts your hand.
Do you think guys would drink beer out of a bottle if the top of the bottle looked like a little... Wait, I probably shouldn't say it out loud.
Okay, I was... You guys would drink it.
I got a question. Yes, Casey? Something you want to tell the class? You think guys would drink something out of beer that look like a vagina?
No.
He's saying
I was
the other
going male
thing.
part.
If it
Well,
looked like
were you?
Opposite, every bachelorette party ever would buy those bottles of beer.
Right?
That's true. Yeah.
I'm sure there are things that are similar, but they people get picky about the taste of the stuff in the can and the bottle if it affects the taste.
Yeah.
And straws are just one more step.
Those are things you think about, huh?
Oh, it's just what,
Dear diary, I wonder if men would drink out of bottles.
Yeah, stop it.
If it looked like penises.
Somebody in this room had mentioned chocolate tampons earlier, right?
Yeah.
So
I was trying to help the health industry. And there's an obvious cooperative between Hershey's and...
Okay.
Tampax.
Well, Marissa has had it. I thought you would get more support on the phones, Marissa, to be
Not a
honest,
one.
on the paper straws, and it's not really happening.
You're a complainer.
I got a lot of hands up emojis on my Instagram, so I got.
The hell does that mean?
I don't know. People were
Give
like,
up.
praise. Yes,
Give up.
word.
Put your hands up.
Give up your stupid
Give
cause.
it up.
No.
Yeah. Praise.
No, like word girl, we support you.
Bird girl.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Listen.
It reminds me of Pat Boone's first day in Compton.
Word girl.
Word girl.
I just hate these goddamn paper straws. They're so.
That's it. Word girl.
That's it.
Word
girl.
Preach. Preach, girl.
Where is the Q in Q-tip derived from?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. It's technically it's a cotton swab.
Right. So a C-tip.
So I don't know where.
No one wants to put a C-tip in their ear.
I have no idea.
And by the way, Q-tip, you've done something to your product. You've cut some corners.
Are you talking directly to
Yes,
the Q-tip
I am
people?
talking to you, Q-tip. You've cut some corners, and I have noticed. But fortunately for you, you're still the best product on the market.
That's your fight song.
That's my fight song.
That's right.
1 second.
And I have noticed. Wait a minute. What is this? Is the swab part smaller?
No, the cardboard.
Medicated.
The cardboard is thinner. It's like they've shaved off a layer or two of the cardboard stick, and
Why do you go like this? With the
I don't know.
cardboard stick?
I don't know.
What the hell is that?
This part right here.
Okay, but
Yeah.
this
Holy
is-
crap, you have one.
Oh, I have.
Let me see.
Oh, Nick, you don't see it. He sits here while we're in the middle of breaks, and he cleans his ear.
You know what he's like, Preston?
Yes, you
He's like
do.
Hyman Roth sitting there.
I itch my ears or scratch my ears.
WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Bizarre File this morning is brought to you by Pro Team Collision. Pro Team Collision, there for all your auto body repair needs. ProTeamCollision.com. Out of Washington State, deputies arrested a man and a woman who were accused of stealing thousands of dollars in jewelry and then were trying to escape on foot, by car, and finally by a rowboat.
A rowboat?
Yeah, the ordeal began around 8 a.m. when Sheriff's Office received a 911 call about a burglary from a shipping container. The caller said a man and a woman had just stolen $11,000 in jewelry from a container and they were fleeing the area in an SUV. Deputies came across an SUV matching the description of the call, and it had been in a rollover crash. The deputies saw the man and the woman walking away. The man and woman had managed to steal a rowboat on Port Gamble Bay. Deputies deployed a drone that recorded the suspect's attempted escape on the water. The drone video shows...
Row faster!
Well, the suspects had one oar and then a piece of plywood that they were using as row, and then... it had begun to take on water as they were rowing. The man and woman eventually ditched the rowboat. They swam to shore where they were arrested, and the suspects haven't been identified and are expected to be booked into the Jefferson County Jail.
So close. Getting away with it.
All right, listen to this. Buckingham Palace is investigating after a staff member believed to be a maid was arrested following a Christmas party. Police were called to a barn near the palace after the woman reportedly smashed glasses and turned on a bar staff member. And she had just gotten hammered at the Christmas party at Buckingham Palace.
Wow.
She was arrested for common assault, criminal damage, and being drunk and disorderly, spending the night in custody before being released. Apparently, there was an evening reception for staff at the palace.
I'm going to put some peanut butter on my cooch.
And then about 50 of them went to a local bar after that event ended, where the rowdiness then took place. So,
Yeah, you don't want to do that in front of the royal family.
no, not a good idea. A man in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, stole a Rolls-Royce Cullinan from a hotel valet on Wednesday morning, and then crashed it into a Checkers hamburger restaurant just 6 miles away. Police say that the suspect, Malik Patterson, fled on foot after the crash, but was quickly caught by a canine unit.
I'm sure the Checkers has many Rolls-Royce collision stories to talk about.
Patterson, who already had outstanding warrants in Florida and California, now faces new charges, including grand theft auto, which could lead to up to 30 years in prison due to the luxury SUV's value. The Rolls-Royce owner was notified about the incident and discovered their car in Checkers rather than at Checkers. So,
on a side note, I like Checkers.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Malls can be hectic around the holidays. This video is hilarious, by the way. Sometimes you can't wait to get home, whether you're on 2 legs or 4. Just ask Crystal, who is a 3-year-old boxer. So the discontented dog took the internet by storm this week after she was caught on camera leaning on the horn of her owner's car outside of a mall in Nelson of British Columbia. Brenna Boyd, who recorded the video, said that she first heard the horn while heading into the mall's location on Tuesday evening. And when it was still blaring 10 minutes later on her way out, she decided to go investigate. The video is a scream. The dog is sitting in the driver's seat, one paw on the horn, and just leaning on it.
I love
and
it.
just it's a boxer.
Right.
So it just has this expression on its face like, any day now.
Yeah, come on.
Any day now. Somebody come and get me. And it is hilarious. So, in her video, Boyd follows the sound across the parking lot until discovering Crystal behind the wheel of the car with seemingly an annoyed expression on her face. Apparently, she does this all the time, Boyd had said. Since Boyd does not have social media, her husband posted on his Facebook page where it's been viewed more than 60,000 times. Look at it. We're looking at the picture
This
of
is
the
a
dog.
no-nonsense dog.
Dozens of commenters have also weighed in on the dog's dramatic behavior, which one summed up as a total boxer move. The breed is known to be expressive, with many boxers having a mind of their own, particularly when it comes to traditional displays of obedience. That's according to the American Kennel Club. Boyd noted that the owner commented on the Facebook post as well and made clear that the dog was not left in the vehicle for long. Crystal was also wearing a snug jacket at the time. So if you get a chance to see that, search it out. You will like it. All right, we'll do one more story and we will wrap it up. Let's end with this one. A group of friends in Florida went on an outdoor adventure with Salty Adventures, LLC, and had an unexpected scare during a gator hunting excursion. While working to prevent a gator from retreating into the water, one man made the risky decision to reach for its mouth. The gator reacted and clamped down on his hand. Luckily, his friends quickly stepped in. They pried the gator's jaws open and freed his hand with minimal damage. Remarkably, he walked away without any real serious bite wounds at all. But his biggest concern was don't wake Katie up. He said, whatever you guys do in the video, he told his friends, fearing that his wife's reaction would be worse than the gator bite itself.
Why would you reach for the mouth?
The group handled the tension situation, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
He handled the tense situation with a surprising calm and even humor, cracking jokes as they were working to release the gator's grip. The man said that he didn't bite that hard, suggesting the gator was giving a warning rather than a full bite. The moment shared on Salty Adventures social media has since gone viral. While the man escaped unscathed, the incident serves as a reminder: never stick your hand near a gator's mouth, even if you're trying to impress your friends or keep it a secret.
Don't tell my wife.
From your wife. That's his main concern. And that is what I have in the bizarre file for you for now. We will take a break. When we get back, we are going to talk to Mr. Skin, and it looks like we'll probably have time to play Christmas at Christmas Cookie Cove. So we'll see if we can squeeze that in when we get back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on
They
the
get itchy, and
I don't care. Whatever. You're sticking that thing in your ear, and I turn over.
my ear. I got a little kind of thing in my ear.
Man.
There's usually something in one of his orifices when I turn and look at him.
I got a bit of a boogie here in my
Yes,
nose and
exactly.
my ear.
Pick an orifice. It stands for quality tip.
We're
Steve.
bigger than U.S. Steel.
Oh, did you hear that?
What?
It stands for quality tip.
Oh, okay.
Tip.
All right.
And so you've noticed a diminishment in the quality of the quality tip.
Yes, there should be less Q-tip, less quality.
How about
tip.
SP, subpar?
Everyone's trying to be environmentally friendly, so maybe
that.
that's a part of it, like the cardboard straws.
Oh, you know what? Here's a bit of trivia, and I did. I have heard this before. The original name of Q-tips were baby gays.
Now you're talking.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I know it.
Can you get those delivered?
Stop it. Televangelist Kenneth Copeland has a lot of experience with planes. We've seen, him and the other guy. There are two of these televangelists that are really big into their aircraft.
They are really consumed with the level of aircraft that they own, and often the current plane they own is not good enough.
It just ain't gonna
because
cut it.
the Lord needs them to spread the gospel.
We were blessed to have an airplane that it was a Vickers Viscount.
A Vickers Viscount.
And a man on our board of directors owned that airplane. And his financial situation had come to the place where, particularly after he got born again, and a lot I won't go into all that.
No, that's more. I won't go into all that. That's the religious part, and it bogs things down. By the way, if we're all not clear at this point, not dime one is making its way to anybody who's poor. I just want to be clear on that. And I know I can say that to you, God bless you all, everyone sitting here right now, and it won't matter. You'll still gladly open up your wallets and put that money in the collection plate.
All right, let me continue.
But that airplane had been parked for several years. Mm-hmm. And it was a 4-engine turboprop.
I mean, Jesus Christ, he sounds like
he's talking about
this. It sounds like you're at an air show. He's a preacher. He's a man of the Lord, ostensibly.
Airliner. So this was back in the days when George first came along, and oh man, we had fun in that old airplane, didn't we?
Oh my God.
They had an older sort of navigation system on that. I know that many of you are going to remember that they didn't have the triple GPS coordination system that you find in the newer vehicles. Did I mention Jesus yet or anything?
This is a sermon?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, we
There's a particular fuel mixture that I'd like to talk about. And then, of course, why you shouldn't covet your neighbor's wife.
Right. Yeah, this is in front of a group of his followers.
This is in church. Or whatever.
Televangelist.
Airplane hangar.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we put that thing back in service. We went through that airplane from head to from nose to tail, and they did X-rays of the fuselage and everything, looking for corrosion. And there was some. It wasn't all that bad, but there was the X-rays showed that there was some spots of corrosion.
Okay, and he's saying, okay, how can I
tie this back into what's my spiel?
Yeah.
Like the way your soul gets corroded.
Right.
Oh, good. Go with that.
Good. Yeah. All right, so he takes big, long pauses. Here we go.
And so I was praying over it. And just
he's praying over the corrosion. In his air.
Praying over it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So instead of going out and earning money,
I decided to return my faith to its upright position because the Lord's beverage cart had been stowed. Because we were coming in for a landing.
And just as plain,
listen to this.
The Lord said to me,
okay, so this is God talking directly to him.
No fumar.
He's talking directly to him. Yeah.
The Lord said to me, lay hands on it. I'll heal it. What?
Listen to the people talking. What? And he says, what?
What?
Even he doesn't buy it.
I never heard him. Well, he said, Kenneth.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
He said, Kenneth, you're an idiot. This is your thing. You're all about the freaking planes. Give it a try.
He said, corrosion comes from the curse.
Oh.
Self-pleasuring.
Yes.
And listen to the people going, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Comes from the curse.
Comes from the curse.
He said, I provided that airplane for you, didn't I? I said, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
He said, lay hands on it. Okay.
Okay.
And I started.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, didn't he say that? All right, so this plane belonged to somebody else, and the Lord provided it for him at the.
Lord didn't have much use for the previous owner.
Yeah, the previous owner had
previous
come in a
owner
hard
could have
time.
gone down a ball of flames. The Lord would not have given a rat's ass.
And I started praying in the Spirit, and the more I prayed in the Spirit, the happier I got. And so I just went, oh man, you talk about laying hands on that thing. I laid hands on it all over, and it's a big old airplane. It took a while to do it.
Took a while to do it. I have to be honest with you. At a certain point, I put my pee-pee in a few holes. And it felt good. Because some of them have some of the rubber stoppers that feel like a woman's lady parts. It felt good. I mean, come on.
I know.
Who's sitting there? Who's sitting there listening to this?
A group of people.
And he has a very large following.
The answer is enough people.
Yeah.
To pay for that beautiful aircraft.
Not one listen, I don't know how big that crowd is. Not
Are
one,
you out of your mind?
right?
Laid hands on that thing, just laid hands on it all over, and praised God, and laid hands on that, and commanded that corrosion to leave in Jesus' name.
Seriously.
Then I crawled up and I kind of hunched my back and started gyrating like, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
He's serious.
And I saw that corrosion disappear. Then I exploded. Come on.
They did more x-rays and came back. There was just one little old spot there. I said, Lord, what? No, he said, I want to remind you. I said, what are you reminding me of? He said, they could have said maybe the x-rays were wrong.
Said maybe the X-rays.
Oh my God. If only you could see Steve's face right now. Come on.
I said, Alec, is there on my back? I just maybe.
What?
X-rays are wrong.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: take him out to an airport. Get a plane that has some sort of error, with something wrong with it, something that makes it really not safe for flight. Lay down on it, and would he lay down on it and pray and then get in that plane?
Well, God didn't tell him that. That would be the defense. God didn't tell me to heal this one, so I can't do it if He's not telling me to do it.
Oh my
you know
God!
What I mean, so that's there's a
fail-safe,
a built-in fail-safe.
So we laid hands on it again, and it's gone.
You're buying this? Yeah. Even I don't believe it.
We need to loop that. Gwyneth Paltrow was spotted at Long Island's New York Center for Innovative Medicine, a center known for its holistic treatment of Lyme disease.
Was she wearing a lab coat?
The founder, I don't know if she's wearing a lab coat. The founder, Dr. Thomas Zulk, has been featured on her website, Goop, for his energy blanching procedures.
I read Zulk on Goop, and I like
Oh,
his
wait a
stuff.
minute.
What?
I said the wrong thing. Not energy blanching, energy balancing. Blanching is lightly boiling
None
something.
of us would have noticed.
Listen, in the world of
Thought it was
Goop,
something
in the
new.
world of Goop, that makes complete sense. Now they can blanch your energy.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds good. I'll try that.
Yes. Can you also whiten my anus?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
We can whiten your anus.
Here's the app for that.
I'm blanching both my anus and my energy.
God. Hey, I had a story that keys off of teachers, and I thought this was kind of interesting. This is out of, where is this? Somewhere in the South. I think it's in the...
Is it Florida?
No, it's North Carolina. The teacher at Northeast Carolina Preparatory School in Tarboro, North Carolina, had apparently punished one of their students. By punish, I mean making them write a phrase over and over and over and over again.
A la Bart Simpson.
Because he called her ma'am.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, and she didn't like it, and
Wow.
so he had to write the word ma'am numerous times.
Aw.
His teacher asked him to write it. He told his mother that he had to return this with the parent's signature after he repeatedly called her the word despite being told not to do so.
Okay, well, if she told him not to, then.
Yeah, he completed his assignment during class hours, which made his mom worry that maybe it had interfered with some of schoolwork.
Yes.
According to the mom, Mrs. Wilson, the teacher also told the young boy that if she had something, she would have thrown it at him. I'm sorry, said to the boy. So if she would have had something, she would have thrown it at him. After the mom signed the paper, she had also had the boy write down the definition of ma'am, which is a term of respectful or polite address used for a woman, according to Oxford dictionaries. There's some people that hate being called ma'am, and
I hate it.
my wife uses ma'am as a sign of respect when she's on the phone with someone asking for help.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am.
It is, and especially as you start to go south, you're going to find it is a term. It is a respectful way to refer to people.
Yeah.
I would it's a weird thing, and I know, Preston, you're right. For ma'am to set someone off?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've always known it as a respectful way to refer to someone.
Maybe she's younger and she doesn't want to feel old.
Yeah,
or
that's
something like
that's
that.
how I see it. I see it as an older woman. So when I remember the first time he was a kid, probably a high school kid, called me ma'am, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, I didn't tell him don't call me that, but it made me feel old.
It's not.
Did he just say ma'am?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I never.
Was it the word that set the teacher off, or was it the fact that the kid was repeating it over and over?
I don't know.
Well, it had to be the initial thing graded on her because she asked him to stop saying it.
Yeah.
But if he's used to saying it as a sign of respect to, like somebody in an authoritative manner, like then you just got to get that flag out of your butt and get over it, right, Press?
I would think so. Yeah, get the flag out of your butt.
Yeah.
Did I say that one day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was hiking around the area, maybe on Friday, said hello to this young feller, probably 13 or 14. How are you? How's it going? Very well, sir. I'm like, yeah.
It's a title. It's a title.
We're not this kid walking along. That you come with me. I want to show other people what you just did because it was so good.
It's a title you've earned.
I earned it.
Hey, here's a text that says, women should know better than to call other women ma'am. I joke that they're traitors. And then she writes, it's well known that most women don't like it. What do you mean? How do you know that?
Because of that extensive survey she took.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe amongst a handful of your friends or something. But what do you mean most women?
Yeah, but I would agree with that.
But how do you know most women?
Because just anyone that I know, it's not like I took a survey, but anyone I know would agree.
Then it's got to be everyone.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing, too. I think it's, but I do, like you said, it's regional. Do you know what I mean? It's
I can see that.
In the South, yes, they do that. They're here, not as much.
But I'm born and bred at, Northeast, and ma'am to me was always a sign of respect. And I would say ma'am.
Or maybe is it an older thing? Like it,
I don't know.
I don't know.
You keep going back to old.
No, the standard thing would be pretty good, ma'am. Wouldst thou takest me?
But here's the deal. I think it's all about intent. And if you hear someone saying it clearly as a sign of respect, you should understand that they're just being polite.
Yes, of course. I'm not going to get mad at them, but it doesn't make me like it. It's still,
right.
I still think it's.
I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
One gosh darn bit. I'm looking at my activities list.
Oh, God.
No, I listen, and if it rings to your ear and you don't like it, you can simply say, "Oh, it's okay. You don't have to call me ma'am, or I'll punch you in the throat."
Yeah.
I would never read it as an insulting thing. That's a way to show respect.
It's your own fault for being old. Jesus Christ.
No,
what's with you and that aging thing?
It's not insulting. It's just we just don't like it.
And that's fine. But all right, it's your personal preference.
I don't think somebody saying it to me is insulting me.
All right, but what do you want your server? What do you want your waiter or waitress to call you when they go up
Sugar
to your
teas.
Yeah.
Young lady, maybe?
I'm lady.
Oh my God, she has to see my ID.
Now we're living in a fantasy.
Now you're getting into pandering territory.
I haven't been underage for 38 years.
Wait, let me tell you something that happened on Saturday. I have to tell you this. So I went out for Preston. I went out for my birthday, and we went into the bar, and they were carting everyone as we were walking in. And me, I was with Alicia. We're both 40, and she goes, "Oh, let's see if we get carded." So we walk up to him, and we stand there, and he goes, "Hi." And so we were like, "Do you want to see your ID?" He goes, "Sure, if you want to hand it to me."
See, he did. There is a crap job available in San Francisco that's a complete waste, but it pays up to $185,000 a year for those who are interested. The city where Tony Bennett left his heart has an enormous feces problem.
There's a lot of poop there.
That has gotten so bad.
A lot of people are taking poops on the street.
Officials decided to create a poop patrol to clean up the streets.
Clean up the poop and the turds that are on the street that I love so dearly. I took a poop in San Francisco. Sing along if you know.
The 5-member team now.
I couldn't control it.
Walk up and down San Francisco.
Started with the shart and then I left my heart.
There it is.
In San Francisco.
Left my shart.
I took a shart. Then left my heart in San Francisco.
So they are now cleaning up human feces, and we're assuming other feces as well.
And vomit.
Animal feces, vomit.
And piss.
Yeah.
Can't forget piss. Piss, vomit, poop, it's all there on the streets of San Fran.
Thank you.
Where they got trolley cars and rice-a-roni.
Thank you, Tony Bennett, for...
poop.
Cable cars and rice-a-roni.
I miss that city.
Chinatown.
Yeah, they got poop-covered streets, piss everywhere, vagrants wandering around. It's wonderful. It's like Night of the Living Dead with hills.
The wharf is just covered in
Absolutely.
poop. Yeah, it's just beautiful. In case you've ever wondered whether Marilyn Manson was truly as evil as he makes himself out to be, there may be proof now. He said they can't find something illegal about what I say or do in my music. They just disagree with it morally because of their belief systems.
That's nonsense. I'm on the Satanic Church myself. And I'm about cleaning the poop off the streets of San Francisco.
That's right. Look at that.
Get off the guy's back.
You're not such a bad guy.
I'm a good guy.
Yeah, so he said, so they have to...
Just because I believe in the power of the Lord Satan doesn't mean you should think I'm evil.
I mean, after all, you're cleaning up poop.
Remember what the Joker said to Batman? They're both sides of different coins or something like that. I didn't...
93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. Well, it's time to talk to one of our year-end friends. It's a tradition that we dive into this. Been doing it for a long, long time.
It's the holidays.
And we love playing this song. It's Celebrity Skin. And it helps us bring in our friend,
make me over.
Mr. Skin. Yay! Let's welcome him to the show this morning. Good day, Mr. Skin.
I think I'm one of your rear-end friends.
I see what you did.
That's what he does.
How about that? No, it's always good to talk to you, Mr. Skin. How you doing, man?
Oh, real good, real good. Yeah, busy time of the year for me, you know?
Yeah. Did we have a good year in nudity this year?
There are no bad years in nudity anymore just because there's so many television shows now that have nudity. You know, when I started MrSkin.com in 1999, if you think about it, there was movie nudity, of course, but think about television, like The Sopranos were just starting. Sex and the City existed, and that had some nudity, but there wasn't a lot, you know? There wasn't a ton. There was some. But now with all the different platforms, Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, you know, you name it, everyone has shows, and all the shows, or platforms at least, have nudity, and it's pretty incredible.
It's crazy.
There are no bad years anymore.
To me, it would seem to be a blessing and a curse. And I have to ask you, because of this glut. By the way, with that comes a whole bunch of quality entertainment that I think there's a lot of quality stuff that's available to watch. Have you had to bring on, no pun intended, extra staff to accommodate all of the searching that needs to take place?
No, we've already had a pretty big team of people that go through everything. It's just you know, they do it full time. Like, that's their job from morning till night is go through movies and television shows. So no, we cover it, but yeah, it's a lot of work. Now, I'm not complaining like it's some horrible job or anything, but it is a lot of work to track all this stuff down. Because don't forget, though I'm going to talk to you about the top 10 celebrity, basically American nude scenes. We track nudity from all over the world. My Skin International division is looking at movies from other countries. Netflix is in other countries. They have shows that air there that don't air here, and vice versa. So we're on all that stuff too. So it is a lot, but that's what this group of people do full time, and I got it covered.
Let's call them heroes.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
I like how you chuckle as you say that. This group of people is what we do.
I know the absurdity of this. Trust me, I've been doing it 26 years almost. I know how crazy it is.
To that point, do you ever recognize the equivalent of Mr. Skin PTSD in your employees? In other words, is it time? Do you have to sometimes send somebody away to watch a Charlie Brown Christmas or something?
Yeah, or they get home and they get mad that there's a nude scene in a movie or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't had that happen yet. So this in 2024, and I was looking through the list, and I have to say there are a number of nude scenes on the list that are part of, I think, substantially good movies. Yeah. So
or television shows.
Yeah.
Television shows.
Do you want to take us through? Start at the top.
Yeah. If you want me to do all of them, I can, or I can pick and choose whatever you guys want. But let me start with number 10 on my list was Megan Fox in a movie called Subservience, and I put this in for a couple reasons. One is ever since Transformers, she's been just a fan favorite. Guys love Megan Fox. She's in the news. She's popular, and she hasn't done a nude scene in her career, so it was kind of shocking, this Subservience. But it's a sci-fi movie. By the way, I noticed it just came on Netflix, and
I watched it. So basically, it's softcore Megan. It's the same.
What I thought was funny is it's about these AI-powered humanoids called Sims, and you could hire them for domestic help. And this young family, a husband and wife, and they have kids. So her name's Alice. And now this isn't Alice from the Brady Bunch, let's put it that way. So could you imagine if Megan Fox is a robot in your home? What do you think happens? So, of course, she hooks up with the dad, and that was my number 10 nude scene of the year. It was more nudity. It was a very steamy scene, but nudity-wise, the angle was a little tough, so that's why it's at 10 instead of higher up the list.
What kills me in the movie is that the mother is still alive. She's simply in the hospital. So in the interim, they bring on this basically sex robot, and the wife is completely fine with it, which is absurd. So what else is on the list?
Yeah, I know. Well, I was going to, maybe skip to number 8. You guys... everybody's been waiting for Sofia Vergara to do a nude scene. She, of course, from Modern Family, and she did this Netflix show called Griselda, which was based on a Colombian drug lord, Griselda Blanco. Now, the real-life Griselda Blanco was not exactly a looker.
Nothing like her.
Oh, that's funny.
So they had to put all these prosthetics and makeup and stuff on Sofia Vergara, to kind of make her look a little worse. But in the 4th episode, it's a brief scene, but for the first time ever, Sofia Vergara did a nude scene, and she's having sex with a guy. Now, if the camera was flipped around where it was more of a frontal shot, this would be higher on the list. But I mean, again, Sofia Vergara doing her nude debut, that was kind of exciting. And I've told people, if she ever did a full frontal scene in decent lighting, it would be the number 1 nude scene of the year, no question about it. So I was just happy she finally did a nude.
And she was good in the role. I think she was nominated and/or won a Golden Globe or something.
Yeah, no, she did. It was actually, I enjoyed it. There was, forgetting the scene too. There was, again, this is one of the cool things. These shows are awesome. That a lot of these shows I'm talking about were great. And the next one on the list, I didn't expect that I would be so into this scene because Kate Winslet, who's number 7 in a movie called Lee, this is her 16th movie she was nude. And a lot of times when, someone has that many nude scenes, it's kind of not as exciting. But she's 49 years old, and if you see this scene, you're like, holy geez, she looks great. She's done some weird nude scenes through the years, but this one, she looks fantastic, and the movie's good about war photographer Lee Miller during the Second World War. And
this is the one that Andy Samberg's in, right?
Yeah, it's really a good movie. And like I said, at 49 years old, you just don't expect, when we were in high school or college, when you thought of a 49-year-old woman, you weren't thinking what Kate Winslet looks like here. It's really, really awesome.
Is she the most accomplished actress
you mean
to appear in this many nude scenes?
Great question. I would say, yeah, she's up there. I mean, Susan Sarandon isn't as accomplished as far as like Academy Awards and all that other stuff. So, yeah, I think Helen Mirren could be considered in her, weight class or whatever,
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but there are some. But you're right. You don't usually have Academy Award-winning actresses do as much nudity, but when it happens, they're usually British. They're, it's like they're not as uptight about nudity.
By the way, I want to point out to those that are listening, this is Mr. Skin's top 10 celebrity nude scenes. So it's the celebrity quality that drives a lot of what ends up on this list.
Yeah, I didn't know if I should throw in a Russian soap opera nude scene for you guys, but I'll catch you that on the Anatomy Awards in the spring. That's when I could curate some really wild and crazy stuff.
Right.
It's just like people you'd actually know. So another example is like number 5. This Taylor Sheridan, who did Yellowstone, has been spinning off some incredible shows, Landman and a bunch of things. Well, one of his spin-offs, or not spin-offs, but one of his new shows is Special Ops Lioness, and Zoe Saldana did a nude scene, which we absolutely loved over at MrSkin.com. And what's interesting about her, she doesn't have the name recognition as like a Kate Winslet, but she's been in, think about, like, she was in Avatar, like one of the biggest box office movies.
Avatar, Guardians, Star Trek. She's in 3 super successful franchises.
Endgame, right. And it's like, and then all of a sudden now she's on this, quote, small screen in this Lioness, which is a really good show. People really like it. And doing a great nude scene. So, and she's not in all that blue paint, or whatever from Avatar. So it's kind of nice to see. So anyway, she came in at number 5. And I'm jumping around just because I think some of these have more interesting stories for you guys. Like, for instance, number 3. If anyone out there wants to know the hottest nude scene of 2024, in my opinion, it's Layla George in Disclaimer, which is an Apple TV Plus
Oh, my
series.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you've seen it, Preston?
Casey had me watch this, and
how about by the way,
wow.
You could barely, I think you could see the guy in the scene there, so I won't get into too much detail, but there is a guy in the scene. But anyway, now, this will blow your mind. So you guys remember Full Metal Jacket, obviously.
Yes,
the great movie.
classic.
Remember Private Pyle, the guy that got in all the trouble?
Yes.
Private Pyle? That's his daughter, Vincent D'Onofrio's
this is
daughter.
Vincent D'Onofrio's daughter?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I know. It's like, should she have a donut in her mouth during the scene? I don't know. But anyway, well, the mom is Greta Scacchi, who I'm a big fan of. If you remember Presumed Innocent with Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Blonde.
Solid movie.
Yeah, she was beautiful, and that's the mom. But it's just funny because obviously he doesn't.
No, you would not imagine him.
Like that now, but when he was Private Pyle, to think that that's his daughter. But anyway, trust me on this one. Hottest sex scene of the year, my number 3 nude scene, and the other 2, the final 2 here were just huge stars doing amazing nudity. Number 2 is Emma Stone in Poor Things. Now you might say, well, Mr. Skin, didn't Poor Things come out in 2023? Because she did win Best Actress for it, and it did, but it came out so late in the year that we had already done our top 10 nude scenes with you guys last year. So anyway, this is just the movie's disturbing as hell. I mean, but she won an Oscar, so it's a real movie. But boy, is it weird! And,
it's wall to wall, right? Preston, you were saying it's
so nude.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's got a dreamlike vibe to it, where things don't seem based in reality. But she is nude a lot in this Mr. Skin. Like most of the movie, she's naked.
Yeah, 100%. And she's and she up until this point wasn't someone who was known for nudity, so it was kind of shocking. But again, I think it's awesome that she won an Oscar, so good for her. And I love that you can do great nudity and win an Oscar, because in the olden times they didn't, they'd frown on it. It was almost like you couldn't take someone seriously if they did a lot of nudity in a movie. So this is a great trend. So anyway, Emma Stone in Poor Things was our second best celebrity nude scene of the year, but number one, without question, and it's shocking because she's 61 years old when she did this, but it's to me more in the substance. You guys might have heard.
Oh no, not I've heard it. I watched it multiple times. I got an advanced screener of it. I think it is a really terrific movie. She gives, I think, like a fearless performance because it is clinically lit. She is not afraid to. Everything is up for grabs. Margaret Qualley is terrific as well, and it's a body horror movie. But let me ask you this, Mr. Skin, and I tell people about the substance. If you ever feel bad about your body, or this is the most be happy with who you are message I have ever seen in a movie, and it's so effectively done. Would you agree with that?
Yes, and I think she's going to have serious consideration for an Oscar also in this, which would be pretty cool. And the movie came out September 20th, and critics love it. And one side note to this, Demi Moore, 61 years old, fully nude, and like you said, very daring role. But people asked me, what's the number one thing that makes a great nude scene? And you might think, is it an A-list celebrity? Yeah. Is it the length of the scene? Is it the body parts you see? And all those things are important, but the true answer after all the years I've done this is really simple. It's the lighting. Because if you can't see anything, what good is a nude scene? And talk about perfect lighting. She's fully nude, and it's almost like hospital lighting. Like,
yes.
What the heck? It's like you can't. Everything about this makes it an unbelievable nude scene. And if you would have told me in 1999 that your 2024 number one nude scene would be a 61-year-old actress, I'd say, come on, you're crazy. But you guys, she looks fantastic, and that old adage, 60s, the new 40, well, she's a great example.
Yeah, I got to see this movie. And Steve, you recommended it highly.
Yeah, everyone that's seen it really appreciates it.
Mr. Skin, before we wrap, which we have to in a moment here, we had a question about male nudity because we were talking about today, we go through some celebrity birthdays. Today is actor Theo James's birthday. And it was White Lotus season 2, which I think was last year, 2023. Not 100% sure. But anyhow, there's a scene where he's naked. It's shot from the rear, and between his legs from the back, you see a little dangle there. And we had forgotten whether or not he had come out and said whether that was indeed him or if they had used a prosthetic. Do you remember? Because you're also the guy who runs Mr. Man as well.
Our team thought it was a prosthetic.
Okay.
And it's, and hey, you know what? They were trying to make him seem even sexier and more like a worthy to be with her. But yeah, it's, our team thought prosthetic, and it's not quite Mark Wahlberg level prosthetic.
Right.
Pretty impressive.
Right. Okay.
All right. Well, then we're going to take that as gospel. Then, if you've determined that, we're going to go with that.
Yeah. When it comes to male nudity, don't think of me as gospel. Female nudity, you can.
That's your thing, for sure. So when do the Anatomy Awards come out? Is that like February?
Right around Oscar time. And what is so fun for me about that is, like I said, we track nudity from all over the world, and such wild and crazy stuff happens. But I can't do it in my top 10 of the year because this is, you got to kind of know who these people are. But that's when I could really curate the weirdest stuff. And every year I see things and I thought, God, I've never seen that before, and I got to put it in my Anatomy Awards. We already have a ton of great stuff, so I'll be releasing that around Oscar time next month.
To be honest, taking a quick perusal of your site, we're going to wrap up in a second, but there is a whole section. I did not realize there were now so many kind of considered quasi-mainstream movies where there's actual sex taking place in those movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. It's not, it's a small percentage, but it's, there are, yes.
We'll take it.
Sex in who are we to complain? Yeah.
All right, Mr. Skin, thank you for checking in as always, and we'll talk to you after the first of the year for the Anatomy Awards, all right?
You got it, guys. Thanks so much.
You got it. MrSkin.com, by the way, and it's free. Free site if you want to go check that out at any point in time. All right, we want to try to stay on time because we have a guest coming up. Alicia Witt is scheduled for 9:10, but before that, we are going to announce the Barbecue, the lineup, the on sale, the date, all that stuff. We'll get to it when we return. Stay with us.
I left once I ran out of snow caps.
He bought the ticket, though.
He bought the jumbo box,
Yeah,
too.
it was there.
I go through them a lot. I love those things.
This is so weird. Just thinking about that. What would lead Tony Bennett to
I love
comment
the Church of Satan, too.
Maryland man? And poop and snow caps and Batman and the Joker.
Makes sense.
He's currently on tour with Rob Zombie with the Trek wrapping
I'm
up
also a Nazi.
this week. I want to see what you think of this, Kathy. Kim Kardashian, Chrissy Teigen, Queer Eye's Tan France, and trans model Andreja Pajic are sporting some eye-catching new accessories. It's all in the name of Simon Huck's conceptual art experience called A Human, and it's already roiling social media. So Kim has a glowing necklace, and it looks like it's implanted in her skin.
But Preston, okay, and I wanted to ask you about this. It's clearly not an implant.
Right.
It is a flesh-colored thing made to look like an implant.
And it lights up, Kathy.
That freaks me out.
But you've got to
it gets worse.
Marissa, see if you can find, she's on social media, and there's a comment. She says, It's
It
going
lights up
to
like
my
my
heart.
heart.
And just her, and she looks like an android, dude.
To begin with.
I know, it's
this,
so
Preston.
it's such a shame.
She's got the lips like...
Yes. Yeah, full on,
Let me see.
full on constructed duck lips, so she doesn't have to make the
She doesn't
pout
have to do duck
anymore. It
lips.
does it automatically.
Close to the beat of my heart.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this. I don't know. Who finds that? It's dysmorphia. We're looking at video. Look at this, Kathy. It lights up, and it looks like it's under your skin.
Yeah, that's kind of...
Kind of wild.
Well, there's a couple of different ones, Preston. So Chrissy Teigen had one. There was a disgusting one that I think it might have been the trans model had, where it looks like almost like mushrooms growing out of their neck.
Oh,
yeah.
This is just somebody who has a lot of money, so is going to pay them to do this. This isn't going to be a fashion trend.
But you can't.
Be too expensive.
And
Yeah,
exactly.
no, it's not.
How would you pay to get this put on? It's got to be a fairly
And if
elaborate
it is,
process.
it's going to be so quick.
Well, now I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, guys.
Here's our fashionista.
Well, I mean, for the people who don't have that kind of money to spend on a glow necklace, okay, and that's all that is just a stupid glow necklace. What if it was like some sort of like thing that you could insert glow necklaces into, Kathy? Right?
What do you mean?
Yeah,
So you know what a glow necklace is, obviously,
The
right?
things
Like
you craft?
the glow bracelets.
Yeah.
What if it was like just a vessel that was like decorative that you could insert the glow
And make
necklace?
it different colors?
Well,
I see what you're saying.
The
Not-
pitch here, though, is that it looks flesh-colored. It looks like you have altered your skin.
You're saying not looking like it's implanted.
not like but accessorizing your glow necklace.
Like what Twinkie wore in Buck Rogers.
Here's the audio of her showing it off. Here we go.
My necklace glows like a heartbeat. It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God! Shut up!
My necklace glows like a heartbeat.
Wait.
It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God.
My heartbeat. Wait, Steve, what are you putting in your mouth?
Something to puff. Give me something to puff out my lips.
Give him something. Wait, you need here, hold on. I have something.
Do you have cotton or
tiny
something?
flashlight.
Steve was trying to put a flashlight in his mouth. Not a flashlight, a flashlight.
Yeah, right. We do have those.
Stick a flashlight in your mouth.
Try that case.
Try this.
What do you have? Yeah, okay.
Close to the rhythm of
Wait,
my
this is
heart.
too big. What do you think I am, a Watusi warrior here? What'd you give him?
Do you think somebody told her to say that, or is that all on
Well,
her
I'm sure
own?
she's getting paid for
Well,
it.
I know, but like where they like say it's,
Sure.
it's to your heart.
Close to the rhythm.
My necklace glows like a heartbeat. It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
You look like Bill Murray in where the giant plant when he goes to the dentist. Little Shop of Horrors. You look like
Little Shop of It goes to the beat of my heartbeat. It's right under my neck and it glows and it pumps to the heart of my heart. Glow, turn on my heart light.
It moves to the rhythm of my heartbeat.
Oh my God!
Shut up.
Yeah. Well, this person Simon Huck is a conceptual artist, so it's.
I'm a conceptual artist. And I want your neck to glow.
Stop it. Okay. They don't see that outside the bubble.
All right,
the
so
rest of the world is like, what are you doing?
I'm looking at one. Nick pulled this up. It looks like she has feathers growing out of her chest.
Yeah, Steve, this is Chrissy Teigen.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Nick, do you have the other ones as well?
Kind of cool.
This is no.
That's cool.
She only posted one.
I mean, listen. It looks like studio makeup done for a movie.
Yes.
For a horror movie.
Yeah, a horror movie or some sort of
fantasy,
sci-fi
thing.
So why not be like the large singing plant from Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah. So meanwhile,
Seymour?
So Teigen, sported a featherhead breastplate, they called it, while Tan France wore a piece made to look like ruffled skin with bioreactive crystals, and Pajik wore horn-like sculpted shoulders. That's it.
Okay, so the one that looks like mushrooms growing here, if we can get that one, I think it looks kind of really like Casey. You don't like things that look like openings and circles and indentations in a body.
Wouldn't it be awesome for like the socially elite for it to become fashionable to wear like a horn out of your forehead?
Preston,
wouldn't it?
Like the
you're
Hunger
not
Games?
far.
Yeah.
Preston, the bagel thing.
Yeah.
The Japanese were doing the bagel implants on the forehead.
But I'd like to see like a rhino horn coming out of their forehead. Oh my God.
Charge.
Rhino. That's so rhino. All right, anyhow, the full exhibit of futuristic clothing-like objects inserted under the skin opens in New York City next week. The entrance fee to even see this stuff is $40 if you want to go check it out.
$40 to see these incredible expressions of self.
Mark, we'd like to put you to work this morning.
Yes.
The greatest host of game shows I've ever met. No question. And so we need some callers on the line. And we are each here on the show going to play for a caller. You don't have to do anything. You just got to sit back and let the magic unfold and get ready to win some prizes as we play this.
Preston and Steve present Know the Show on WMMR. Kathy can't go to bed at night if there's anything on the floor. And Steve's got a bunch of Cub Scouts buried in the dirt behind his cellar door. Nick's effeminate. Marissa likes getting text messages with naked pictures attached. Casey boy squeezes pus out of his armpits, and Preston likes eating his own scabs.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have not done Know the Show in a long, long time.
Well, we usually refuse to do it unless Mark Summers can host it.
That is correct. And so the way this will work, the format is that Mark will have a statement that he'll say about each one of the members individually. He'll pick out a member and make a statement, and the rest of us try to answer a question that might be answered by that person. And each one of us, if we get it correct, we get a point. If we answer like-mindedly with the person that's being singled out.
A la the Newlywed Game.
It's the same thing, actually. In fact, this is the Newlywed theme music, I think, that we're playing.
We're ripping off everything we can.
Every bit. And if we'll have point totals, whoever has the most points, that person on the phone line who we are playing for is going to win a prize. If there's a tie, we'll give away a couple of prizes. That's the way it works. Mr. Mark Summers.
Thank you. No rehearsal. Sight reading. Here we go. Radio legend Preston Elliott, or El Scabo, as the people of his native Honduras refer to him, is a man of many talents who enjoys a plethora of hobbies. If Preston were told he must give up one of his cherished hobbies on the spot and never, ever indulge in it again for the rest of his life, which of the following three would he select? Is it golf, drumming, or cooking? You have 15 seconds to write your answers down. All right, time is up. And we're going to start with Casey Boy. Which one would he give up and never be able to do for the rest of his life?
Wow. This one was really tough. You got to eat or you're going to die. I would say you got to listen to music or you're going to die. So I went with golf.
Casey says golf. Steve, your reply is?
No, I had to think about these as well because I know that he adores golf, and though he's had some issues with his shoulder, drumming, the music is everything to him. However, there are other people who can cook for him, and so I say cooking.
cooking. 2 different answers. We move to Kathy.
I was the same as Casey. I said golf because I know that he has back and shoulder issues, and I think that would be the reason because it would hurt, and I don't think that he could give up drumming or cooking.
All right, so we have 2 golfs, and we have a cooking, and we're moving to Nick.
So I went with, because of the hearing issue, I thought that Preston would choose on a tactical situation to give up drumming for the rest of his life.
Interesting.
Yet another answer, and finally, Marissa.
I went with, I think most of the crowd went with, and I went with golf.
Golf, we have 3 golfs.
Wow.
Preston, what is the response?
If I were to have to give up one of them for the rest of my life, I'd have to go, I'm going to say, agree with Steve, I'd give up cooking. Somebody else can make that food for me. And even though I have shoulder and back problems, I still love the game of golf, and I'll never quit playing.
How's your putts?
It's good. Have a tug.
Yeah, here, grab the shaft and you tell me.
Nice balls.
Got a couple balls? All right, so
And they're moist.
Steve got the lone point on that one.
Who's keeping score?
Casey is.
And who's our person who's won?
Well, it's going to be a total.
after the
It's
whole
gonna be a
game.
total at the
All
end.
right.
So.
Question 2. While Preston is known as a man of the people who often spends his spare time dispensing free croutons to the homeless, he is amazingly occasionally uncomfortable while in one-on-one situation. In a one-on-one situation, which member of the Preston and Steve cast will Preston say he is least at ease with when he sees them away from the show? Oh, my.
Wait, you got to ask that again.
Okay. So, who is the person?
You can leave out the crouton part.
No.
In English.
In English. Preston is least at ease. He's the most uncomfortable with which one of you when you're away from the show? So if you go to a
I'm
party,
one-on-one situations.
Okay, and he knows all you guys for 100 years.
Yep.
If he came face to face at a barbecue, which one would he feel the most uncomfortable with? That is the question.
Who is he least at ease with away from the show?
You've got 15 seconds to answer this
I
question.
don't see Kathy writing. Chop, chop, chop.
Marissa, we'll start with you.
All right. I think Preston and Casey have a great bond. Preston and Steve, obviously the longest relationship here, plus Casey on top of that too. Kathy, you guys have the kids together. Nick, you guys.
So the decision committee at WMMR had put their heads together and made a few phone calls and got things set, and we now have all the information you need for MMRBQ 2025. So first and foremost, I want to tell you that the show this year is going to be in the spring.
Yes.
It will be a spring show. It will be Saturday, May 10th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, and tickets for this show will go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. And this is why it will be a great gift for the holidays. You can get these tickets now and give them for the enjoyment later on next year.
Great idea.
It'll be a wonderful Christmas gift or holiday gift for anybody on your list who is a rocker. And we are going to be rocking. So let's run down the bands they're going to be playing. Our headliner this year will be Alice in Chains. That is correct.
Love that band.
Alice in Chains has decided to grace us with their presence, and they put on one hell of a show. Those of you who have seen them, and they have played the MMRBQ before, you will be delighted to get a glimpse of them performing in the headliner slot that particular night. So Alice in Chains, first band that we are announcing for MMRBQ. They are fantastic. All right, also joining us on the bill for MMRBQ 2025, 3 Days Grace. Yeah. 3 Days Grace, one of those bands that just, they're just a solid rock band.
Always deliver.
Lots of energy on stage, lots of excitement, lots of hits. There's plenty of songs and plenty of enjoyment ahead for those who are fans or even never seen the band before. You will want to check them out Saturday, May 10th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Let's add another one to the list. This one I'm really excited about. We are really stoked to bring back to the MMRBQ lineup this year Mammoth WVH. Wolfgang Van Halen and his band will be joining us. And Wolfgang and company have played MMRBQ before. but it was right at the start of the band when they were just essentially noobs.
Exactly.
As a group.
Now we know.
Yeah, and now he's logged some miles.
Yeah.
On tour with this group, and he's had a chance to let these songs breathe a bit, and has written more between then and now, and we are just thoroughly impressed with how great he is.
I'm looking forward to a shot at getting another interview with him because he's phenomenal.
Yeah, so we're happy to have Mammoth WVH on the bill for MMRBQ. Also returning to the lineup and adding a little bit of estrogen to the show, which we always love having female rockers on board for MMRBQ. Dorothy will be returning. Talk about bringing some energy.
Yeah, she's got it.
Yep. So Dorothy on board. And if you've never seen Dorothy and her band play, you got to get the tickets and you got to be a part of this. So that is all part of the main in the pavilion. Well, we will have what do we call this? Before the intermission.
Right.
And before the general admission portion of the day will include the following band. So we have a time switch that kind of happens, or a turnover.
Yes.
That takes place where after a certain amount of time, or before a certain amount of time, anybody can sit in the pavilion. And then afterwards, if you have lawn seats, then you have to go to the lawn. So beforehand, before we get to those that group that I just announced there, you'll be able to be in the pavilion no matter what ticket you have. And we're excited to mention this band, who will be, we're going to just run down the list of these bands, Casey. Dead Poets Society will be playing.
Nice.
This is a really cool song. I don't know much about Dead Poets Society,
but I like this.
And every time we have a band on that I don't know much about, I always walk away going, "That's a damn good band." Yeah. So we're excited to see these guys as well. Dead Poets Society, a little more estrogen thrown in too. And another exciting announcement, playing that particular show will be Octane.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, for those who have been on the music scene in Philly for a long time, you probably have seen Octane at one time or another. And they are definitely, they got balls to them.
Yes, love those guys.
And it's cool that they're doing it again. So Octane will be playing MMRBQ. Now, also a band we just got to meet at the Camp Out for Hunger, Return to Dust.
Yeah. I was kind of... I was blown away by the live performance.
Yeah, really good. Very young band.
Yeah.
Like literally one of them is just out of high school.
It's true.
And they came by and played Camp Out for Hunger, and we were thoroughly impressed by how good they sounded. And they're young, and they're eager, and they're into it. And this is a great song. This is all I know from the band is this song.
Their live harmonies, though, were really good.
Yeah. Yep. And very Alice in Chains like. So,
absolutely.
So they will be there. And then we also have a local Shots band playing, which has been tradition, and that band is Fat Mez.
I've seen Fat Mez. These guys are solid band, man.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah. Multiple members of the band have a really great singing voice.
Yep.
And I love it, because I saw them as a cover band, and what I love about it is they just play what they want to play. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're and if you like it, you like it. You know what I mean? Just like deep cuts from George Harrison and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah, these guys are solid.
They got a real funky side to them, which is awesome as well. A couple of people are texting in asking if the Alice in Chains WVH our general admission. No, it was the other way around.
Yes. Yeah.
We did it in reverse.
Yeah.
We did the announcement in reverse, so sorry if I was confusing about that in delivering that information. So listen all weekend. Well, once again, tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. Early bird lawn tickets are just $25 plus fees while supplies last. We will be doing the President Steve Show side stage, live band karaoke. Sidearm is going to be performing. DJ set with Jackie Bam Bam. We'll have some other bands that we announce on that as well. And listen all this weekend because we're going to be having MMRBQ blocks and your chance to win tickets. All the details are available at WMMR.com/MMRBQ.
Awesome.
So back to the springtime this year. We are excited to announce that information. So, like I said, go to the website and get the info. All right, with that, we have a guest on our Xfinity mobile guest line.
A musician in her own right.
A fantastic musician. She's started at a very young age, and her acting career has just been, it's been wonderful throughout the years. And she has found a home at Hallmark and does amazing, obviously you're seeing a lot of them this time of year. So she is performing at the Sellersville Theater tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And we are happy to bring to you this morning Alicia Witt on our program. Alicia, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
We're wonderful, and we're excited you're coming to our area. And I should have mentioned at the top, this is a Christmas album you're promoting. Is this an exclusively Christmas show that's going to be taking place?
It's all but a few songs exclusively Christmas. My Christmas record, it's my 7th release, and the first one that I've produced myself as well here in Nashville. And so I've got a band traveling out with me, and it's me at the piano and vocals, and we've got a full band. So we're playing the whole Christmas record top to bottom, which is 9 original songs. And 3 traditional, familiar ones. And then I'm also playing all the other Christmas songs I've released through the years. As you pointed out, I used to work at Hallmark, and several of my Christmas songs have been heard in those movies.
Oh.
So I'll be playing all of those as well. And I might drop in a few of my non-Christmas songs by request.
Well, you're the real deal. I mean, you are. Yeah, you were kind of I think from a young age, you were sort of a phenom, and your piano skills are not in question. So composing, writing these songs, and then producing the album as well. That's just about everything you can do. I have to ask you, and this is something that a lot of people have said. You score big with a Christmas song, and
you're set.
And you're set for life. Is that in the back of your mind when you're writing one of these? Because you seem to legitimately love and enjoy Christmas to begin with.
I legitimately love and enjoy Christmas, and it's a fact that when you're writing a song, you need to not be thinking, "Hey, I wonder if this is going to be mailbox money." Kind of song, because it won't have the same heart.
Right.
I write the songs because I love the idea and because I want to make something that is going to resonate with people and that they're going to add to their playlists because it's dear to their heart. And if something I should write, if I'm fortunate enough to have it take off and be something that earns a lot of money, that will just be gravy to me. But for me, honestly and truly, the gift is getting to play these live shows and looking out into a room full of strangers and seeing that in this divided world we live in, this divided country, all of those people have so much in common, at least for that one moment, because they're all enjoying that one song. And I feel such an honor and such light and love when I get to do that. It's what I look forward to the most.
That's what makes this time of year, I think, so great. And there's as hard as we try, and we sometimes drop the ball. I think this is where you're most likely to get sort of a general good feeling and goodwill towards each other and so on and so forth. And music, and I was listening to a number of your songs, and they sit right in the pocket. The original songs feel like you've heard them before. They feel comfortable. They feel heartwarming. And is it something you took to immediately, or did you have to work yourself? Do you have to have a glass of eggnog and put up some mistletoe when you're writing a song like this?
Well, you might need to, but I have been thinking about when I would make my full-length Christmas record for years now, and I decided last Christmas, as I was putting up the tree and doing all the things, that 2024 would be the year. So I started writing these original songs last Christmas, and then I kept the tree and the decorations up a bit later into January, and the various co-writers that I wrote some of them with would come over, and we were still sitting in the Christmas spirit. One of the songs was written a bit after Christmas, but we wrote it in this beautiful old abandoned church in East Nashville.
That's great.
So there was a lot of Christmas all around us for real, and then we recorded it in April, but I remained in the Christmas spirit since December, and we put up a few lights and a few little Christmas trees around the studio, and
Yeah, that's what we want. We want to think that. We want to think that you're possessed of the Christmas spirit. I have to tell you, 2024, you pulled off one of the most schizophrenic achievements. You're in one of them, and I didn't realize this.
I know what you're going to say.
Long legs.
Yeah.
One of the most. I only put two and two together, and like, oh my God, that was Alicia Witt.
Yeah.
This is and that, and then you're also the Queen of Christmas at the same time.
Yes, thank you. Longlegs is not the first really out there character that I've played, but to have a character like that in the most successful independent film of 2024 and have it be seen on the level that it has been. And on top of that, you are not the only one that still does not realize that was me. I have actual colleagues who I've worked with in movies who have looked me in the eyes and said, wait, you were in Longlegs?
It's interesting that you mentioned that this isn't the first one, because when you first started to surface as, doing some of these Hallmark movies, I remember going, no, man, she does kind of weird stuff. She does, she does kind of trippy, kind of freaky things. And then, and then I'm like, wait a minute, she's an actress. She'll, just do what she wants to do. She can, take on different roles. But it was such a juxtaposition. Do you like that jumping of, changing who you are as an actress? I would imagine being able to go to different, different lengths and in different directions.
That is why I wanted to be an actor in the first place.
Yeah.
And in fact, ever since I was a teenager, when I first started getting some consistent work, I was mindful to not play the same role over and over again. Like when I was on the sitcom Sybil, I was playing this acerbic, sarcastic teenage daughter who was playing the piano because I was a piano player. And of course, I'd played piano for a living when I first moved to LA, background music at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel for years. So the piano playing was worked into the show, but all the movies I was offered while I was on that show were the same exact character. I should say almost all the movies. And I turned down a lot of opportunities, both for actual movies and to audition for movies, just because I felt they were exactly the same role that I was already known for. And I chose characters that I thought were very different. And I continued doing that throughout my career, as whatever the role was that I played at the moment that became well seen, I would try to go the opposite route in the next roles I played. Okay. So even during the years I was working consistently making Hallmark Christmas movies, I was continuing to make these, like The Walking Dead, and I did a season of The Exorcist on Fox.
Yeah.
And, there were many times I went directly from one of those into a Christmas movie, and Twin Peaks, but Longlegs is just a whole different category because of how widely seen it was.
No, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, it's super successful. You mentioned Twin Peaks, and David Lynch recently came to light that he's not in wonderful health. But he essentially discovered you, and we have a sort of a reappreciation of the original David Lynch version of Dune. The new films are fantastic, but what was it like, you, a very little girl at that time, working with David Lynch on this expansive movie?
It changed my life. I can't even imagine what my life would be like if that hadn't happened, and if David Lynch hadn't been the first director for me, because he made it so much fun, and he showed me that getting to make believe was something that adults could do for a living, and he made it magical. And I've worked with directors since then who are not as pleasant to work with. Most of them are, but you have these experiences that feel like they've lost the fun. And even working with David on the most recent Twin Peaks, which was the 4th time I got to work with him, he is exactly the same as a director. He's just more seasoned, but he still captures that magic. And my first day on the set of the recent Twin Peaks, I asked him what was going on in the pages I'd been given, and he said, "I'm not going to tell you."
That sounds about right.
All the actors, we just all had to trust, and we did.
I'm hoping, Alicia, because the Dune films were so successful, and obviously it leaves it wide open for a whole, another head down further into those books. But I would hope that they would offer you're forever. You were a child when you were in the Lynch film. That they would offer you some type of a role if that comes up again.
Gosh, I would absolutely love that. I would love that. So I have no idea if that will ever come to pass, but I would be there if it did.
Well, we're going to campaign for you.
I think that there should be a sandworm bar with a piano, and you can be there performing compose some songs. I think there you go. That's how it works. But for now, you're totally enmeshed in Chris. How long does this tour go for, by the way?
I finish it up the day before Christmas Eve in Minneapolis, and I'm home now today as I speak to you in Nashville. But we get on a plane first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll be heading straight to Philadelphia to play this show.
The theater's great. You're gonna. I don't know if you've ever played it before, but you're gonna love it. And I think we are all really as high on Christmas spirit as you can get at this point. So we're looking forward to this.
I can't wait. It will be my first time at the Sellersville Theater, and there are still some tickets available, although it's selling really well.
Excellent.
As it should.
Tickets are available at st94.com. So get those tickets to see Alicia Witt, and she's promoting her Christmas album, which is called Think I'm Spending Christmas with You. Thanks for spending some time with us, Alicia, and we hope you have a great show and enjoy your stay while you're here, okay?
Thank you so much. I will. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas to you. Alicia Witt, guys. A little clip of her, by the way.
It's really good.
Yes.
I'm sitting alone.
I've always liked her. I've always liked her. I remember watching her on Sybil and having a little
crush
on her. As we're similar in age, and and she's a redhead. I like redheads.
She said Walking Dead. I was like, she was in The Walking Dead? And so I had to go check the IMDb. She was in like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I don't remember her arc.
I will have to pull up a video because I think I remember going, hey, that's Alicia Witt. And then she came and went, yeah, I remember
She is
her.
she is obviously a lovely woman, but she is not afraid to, get into the muck and mire for a role.
I was not familiar with Longlegs, and on YouTube, somehow or another, clips of this started popping up, and I'm like, what is this messed up looking thing?
So if you've been yearning for, and I just watched it recently, if you've been yearning for something to tickle your Silence of the Lambs nerve, this is right in that pocket. Well done, and Nicolas Cage and Blair Underwood, and it's solid.
And I'm watching. I'm like, I'm never going to watch this. So let me watch the finale of the movie on YouTube. And I know how it ends.
Yeah.
And I was like, as I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, that's the nun. I'm like, that's Alicia Witt. I had no idea. It's disturbing.
No, you don't know. I watched the whole damn movie.
Extremely disturbing.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Alicia Witt, for giving us a call here real quick. Hey, do you guys mind if I read a couple of emails and things? Speaking of these holiday shows and Hallmark, I got this email. This is from, it says, Allison, your biggest fan in York County, or Yoko, she says.
Yoko.
I like that. Yoko. She says, the Hanukkah on the Rocks movie was so stinking cute, and Mark Summers was great in it. I really loved the wink to Double Dare. I hope he gets a chance to do more Hallmark movies, and I hope that you got a chance to watch it this weekend, too.
Absolutely did. You were corresponding with him as it was going on. I watched it during the premiere, so, got that traction. But
yeah, it was, I told Rochelle, I'm like, I want to watch this Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
She's like, who the hell are you? I don't know who you're even talking to. And I told her it was Mark Summers. And then I looked at the schedule. I'm like, yeah, it's like an hour, right? And
No, it's
like,
2 hours.
I'm like, oh my God, it's 2 hours long.
It
Oh my
was really long.
So, so right as it was starting, the opening credits, I took a video of me in front of the TV with it on, and I'm like, "Hey, Mark,
To prove.
I'm like, I got my bourbon here, and I'm getting ready to watch it, and I don't know, is she going to find love? I don't know." And I sent it to him, and he got back to me, and we started live texting.
Oh, that's funny.
During the whole thing. So he and I had this exchange back and forth. By the end of it, he was like, "Are you ready to convert?"
I was texting with him as well. I needed to him to know that we were watching.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
So I decided to text him right after the Double Dare line.
Right.
Which was great.
Which was great. And I was like, was that because he had said that he had improv
He
a couple of
improv'd a few
lines
things,
and they made it through. I was like, is that one of your improv lines? Which I don't think it was.
Probably not. There was another one I meant to ask him about that I thought was probably improv, but I'd forgotten what it is at this point. But it was sweet, as you would imagine. All the Hallmark movies are super sweet, and it was very, very touching.
It's got the right amount of cheese.
His wife had passed away in the scenario, and he was, besides the two getting together, he was the focus of this movie.
He's the matchmaker.
Yep.
He's the voice of the tradition of the holiday itself. And for someone who he did really well with that type of character. I could clearly see him popping up in a few more of these if they continue this run. This is the second Hanukkah movie that Hallmark has done.
And in true Hallmark fashion, they took every single Jewish tradition holiday stereotype and crammed it into this.
Spritzing. I'm verklempt.
Like
bagels.
Every single thing you can think of.
Yes.
Booby, booby,
and
dreidel. Hey, how do you play dreidel, by the way?
So it's been
just thought it was a
long time since I've played. It's a betting game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I feel like you explained this to us once before, Preston.
yeah, you essentially you're betting on what it's going to land on. So
Okay.
there are 4 sides to it, and each one has a letter. Now listen, my Jewish friends, I'm going to mess this up. I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. My best friend was Jewish. We spent Hanukkah together there all the time, but that's when I was a kid, and I have since not done it in a long, long time, so I don't remember all of the details.
So I remember we actually made dreidels in elementary school.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah, same.
And there was a song, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, a dreidel I would play.
Hey! And so each player, here you go, Casey. You put a token into the pot in the middle. Players spin the dreidel one at a time, and the letter facing up determines their action. So yeah, I guess it's not betting. So there are 4 different things. There's Nun, Gimel, Hay, and Shin. Maybe mispronouncing these, but Nun means nothing. The player gets nothing. Gimel means everything. They take everything in the pot. The Hay means half. You get to take half of it. Okay. Or Shin means you put in, you add one more to the pot. So it's this betting thing.
Okay. There's another game that of the same. It's called Hungry Hasidim. And so there's it's kind of like Hungry Hippos.
We always played with the chocolate coins. Yes. That was the booty. But they covered it all.
Everything
in this and
but he's in the center of every scene.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I told him the scene where she gives him the picture of the cherries. I'm like, I took a picture. Rochelle was crying.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he got a kick out of that. But he did great. And for a guy who's never really acted on screen before, I mean, he has as a young man, he trained for acting, and he did his stage acting, but he has not done screen acting in a project like this.
And
so
freely admitted it, did a solid job. And you know they wove in the food. The food was so he's tasting food in a lot of it. Obviously, he's built a big part of his career on food. So, definitely a solid turn.
Yep. So it's Hanukkah on the Rocks, and it'll make the rounds on the Hallmark. So
only 2,000 to 3,000 times.
You will be able to see it plenty of times. And Hanukkah starts the same night as Christmas this year. So a couple other emails I want to read real quick. This one, and I'm cleaning out some shout outs before we get into the end of the year.
End of your shout outs.
Says, hey, can you send a shout out to my family friend, Kristen Bowman? She's an avid YouTuber who doesn't miss a show, and her birthday is Saturday the 14th. Says some irony here. She actually lives north of Charlottesville, PA. So a huge greasy shark would be apropos. Thank you. That's from Tom Dakota, a.k.a. YouTuber El Padre.
So I'll give her this.
There it is. All right. And then this one says, hey, good morning to see you. Wanted to write a request shout out for a crew at Two Birds Cafe in Westchester. We celebrate 5 years, Friday the 13th, and we are a small cafe that opened 3 months before COVID struck, and I'm very happy to say we made it through it, and we're going to keep on rocking.
Nice.
A big part to our amazing team of servers and cooks who've helped make this place one of Yelp's top 50 restaurants, and we're extremely grateful for our community who've shown us love and support all through the ups and downs. Look forward to feeding the good folks of Westchester and beyond. Thanks for everything you guys do. We listen to your show all day back in the kitchen from open to close.
That's amazing.
Love to all. You guys rock. That is from Justin and Jess Minchak, Two Birds Cafe. So here's a shard for you guys. Congratulations on that. Oh, I wanted to mention this. This is not a shard out or anything. There's a guy I've mentioned before, Jerry Torres. He sends me stuff regularly, interesting things that sometimes end up in the bizarre file or the junk drawer.
He's a comedian.
And he wrote me and he says, hey, Presbo, can you help me this holiday? I'm looking to buy a great gift for my lady, and I'm trying to find the high-pressure toilet unblock shot, toilet pipe plunger, high-pressure toilet unblock a shot, stainless steel toilet snake, high-pressure air drain, clog remover plumbing tool in black.
Oh, they're
Have a great holiday season, Jerry Torres. Jerry, we can only get it in red. That's it. So I apologize, but thank you for that. Here's one that I started a couple of weeks ago and stopped.
Yes.
Because it was supposed to be read today.
You found it.
Right. Yes.
All right.
Nick was very fastidious about making sure you're on this.
This is from Laura Scordato, who says, hey, Preston, I'd like to send a shout out to my wonderful fiance, Joe M. in Havertown. Joe has been a longtime listener from the Y100 days and faithfully to your show via podcast every day. And it would mean the world to him if you got a shout out for his birthday on December 16th. Happy birthday to the love of my life. You make my heart so full every day. Thanks, Laura. Here's the shark. And by the way, Laura, good for you. You're changing your name from Scordato, which I'm sure you got scrotum references most of your life.
Scrodato.
So there you go.
Scrodato.
Scrodato.
That's your nutsack.
Thank you, Mom. All right, here is another one. This was for the 14th. Says, could you send my best friend Jennifer Capoli of Southampton, New Jersey, a shout out for her birthday Wednesday, December 14th. Wednesday?
Last year.
Yeah. Wednesday was on Saturday.
Weekend, yeah.
And it says 14th.
Wednesday was on Saturday?
December 14th was on Saturday. Wednesday was on Saturday, dude.
Wednesday.
Where have you been?
Wednesday, the Saturday 14th.
I was sick last week, and I missed a few things. I didn't know Wednesday's now Saturday.
Wednesday is the new Saturday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday is the new Wednesday.
Right. Yeah. Shapiro wrote a bill. Wednesday's the new Saturday.
Wednesday was
the Saturday 14th.
Sure. Wednesday was on Saturday.
I feel like I'm having a conversation with my mom right now.
Anyway. They said I introduced Jen to the show about 15 years ago. She is now a dedicated podcaster, and we come to many events like MM Barbecue, Camp Out, Cardboard, Biggest Blood Drive, etc. But we have yet to experience the glory of the Shart. Jen lost her father last week and could use all the love and support possible. Thanks for getting us through our mornings, Gadzooks, and that is from Brittany Leap. So
giving her a pulpier one.
She deserves it. Steve, this was a funny one, and Nick, you'll like this too, being the diehard Flyers fan here. This is from John Foster. He said, hey guys, watching the Flyers game on Saturday, there are 3 characters from the Beverly Hillbillies.
What?
Drysdale and Hathaway for the Flyers and Bodine for the Wild.
Wow, Jethro Bodine.
Bodine. There was Mr. Drysdale and Miss Hathaway from the bank.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
That was a really cool observation, John.
That is pretty wild.
I like that. So he wanted us to pay attention to that.
Give him a shot.
And then I have a couple of other Flyers information. One was it was a shout out. It was a good one.
By the way, those Flyers, the gift,
the Santa Sacks?
Santa Sacks.
Yeah.
They're still up for grabs. They're really good.
They're good this year, man.
Yeah. All right. So this is from Jeremy Goldberg, who is from Draycott, Massachusetts. And he says, good morning at Kenny Knight, Stephanie, Foz, K-Dog, Yeah, Cup Boy, and Riz. Or Riss, not Riss.
Yeah.
I work on the side as a scorekeeper for the Valley Youth Hockey League in the suburbs of Boston. To my surprise, this past Saturday, I walk into Valley Forum in Haverhill. He wrote it phonetically. He says Haverhill, Presbo. To have the lobby swarmed with orange and black. Didn't know what to expect, but it turned into the best experience I've had scorekeeping yet. It was the NAHA Junior Hawks, the team from Boston's Metro West, against the Philadelphia Little Flyers. And even though they lost 3-1, I wanted to give an explosive shout to the coaching staff for the Little Flyers: Larry Bessa, Derek Hay, Grace Killenbach, and Tommy Gathercole, for making my job so much easier and less stressful by staying out of the box. Gadzooks. And then he says to Sadie from Delco, one of the moms working the penalty box that was trying to stream the game on Instagram for all the parents, not there. We bonded over having our days made by a Kaboomba Pierre laugh and gave her a local coffee recommendation to try.
Boom, boom, chaka.
And then he says, lastly, to all the players of the Little Flyers and Junior Flyers and their families that made the trip north to the Merrimack Valley, hope you enjoyed your time here and took a couple of wins home. We aren't all mean and rude here, just not the biggest fans of your sports teams. And he says, been a long time listener and streamer of the show since 2010 and always perk up when I can talk about the show. I've said numerous times before that Boston radio is brutal. Unless it's sports talk, it's very hard to succeed here. So extremely happy to have connected with the show, even being a lifelong Bostonian.
That's wild.
Hoping to visit again one day and enjoy a Yard's, cheesesteak, roast pork, Lorenzo's, etc. So Jeremy Goldberg, thank you, sir. And I thought that was a really nice little
That
testament.
is very nice.
Jeremy's a great guy. I've corresponded with him a bunch over the years on Instagram. He's a huge Bruins fan, so anytime the Bruins get the better of the Flyers, he lets me know. But I just love the fact that he's a big hockey fan, and he listens every day. He's a great dude.
So is he just by happenstance started listening?
You know what, Steve, I don't remember how he found it in the first place, but he's a dedicated listener, and he's listened for a long time. He's a really nice guy.
Speaking of the Flyers, I got this email from Christy Schmick, and she says, hey, I'm a member of the Tamaqua American Legion Auxiliary Post 173 and a fellow Flyers fan. The Auxiliary, for a second year, is running a fundraiser selling Flyers tickets. For every ticket we sell through our link, we get a portion of our ticket price as a donation. We're a little slow this year in our efforts in selling tickets, so I thought maybe you could help. Anyone, anywhere can take advantage of this. It is all sold online. There are several games that are in the new year, so they would make great Christmas presents for fellow fans. And you can do a search on the American Legion Auxiliary Post 173.
It's on our website.
Oh, thank you, Nick.
It's on the community page at PrestonandSteve.com. And there's a whole bunch of games on there that are available for sale. So if you're thinking about going to any of these Flyers games, just go to the community page on PrestonandSteve.com and buy those tickets through these guys, and you'll be donating to a good cause.
Excellent. And I'm sorry to do so many of these, but we're getting to the end
it's the
here.
End of the year.
And I don't want to get stuck with a bunch of stuff that I forgot to do. So I've got two more. This one is from Brian Jansen. He says, hope you sexy bitches are having a wonderful day. Wondering if you'd be able to do a shout out for my amazing wife, Sarah Garvey. She's been a fan of your show since she was in middle school.
Oh, my God.
Her bus driver would listen to you daily, and she has been hooked ever since.
This is his wife.
Yeah. She even wrote a Christmas jingle a few years ago that you read on the show. Thanks for taking the time to give my sexy, brilliant, and loving wife a shout out on her birthday. Thanks for making our days more enjoyable with your show. With love, Brian. So there you go. And then one last one.
We have a number of people who have been listening all of their lives.
I know.
Which is amazing. I mean, who are full-grown adults. We'll meet them again. Now, obviously, she picked it up at a certain point, so she's a younger kid, middle school.
Mm-hmm.
But we have people who have literally been exposed to the show for their entire life.
Yeah, since birth.
Yeah.
And this last one, this is from John Shore. He says, my wife Faith and I moved from Delaware to Palm Shores on the Space Coast of Florida last February. And we do not miss the traffic nor the weather back home. We do still get to hear about it when we listen to you guys on the app every morning. Please send a shout out to my wife for her 61st birthday. Now, this is on Christmas Eve, but I'm knocking this out right now.
Got to do it.
He said, we've been listening for about 15 years, and there's just no radio station like MMR down here. Never will be either. Love you guys like Dr. Mike. And that's from John Shore. So there's a shout out for you, sir.
They're beautiful.
And
you did it.
I did it.
You did it.
I'm doing it. And I'm going to do one more thing.
All right.
Give away some passes to the Christmas spirit. Yes, all right. So we can take 3 callers right now, and we'll take caller 15, 16, and 17. And we will give you the passes to go to the event. It will be on Thursday at the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville. It's presented by Phoenixville First, and it is the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition. So make sure that you do indeed impress us with an ugly sweater. You need to be there by between 6 and 7 a.m. to get checked in. And then it gets started. And we will have a damn good time as we did last year. The Souderton Area High School Choir is going to sing again this
they
year.
were wonderful last year.
We have maybe a special guest or two that will be joining.
Right.
And we'll be calling people out of the audience to play games. And we'll be giving stuff to people who are just in the audience attending. We're getting this all underway. So 215-263-WMMR. We'll take those callers now. And Casey and Chuck actually went shopping this weekend.
And Chuck was describing the pandemonium of that shopping
to get
excursion.
Some of our prizes to give away.
Yeah, we didn't have enough room in the car. I mean, literally, like we had to take things out of boxes. And,
so you bought it all, and then you get out to the car, and you're like, oh, no.
But what's funny is when we went to the Costco in Cherry Hill.
Yeah.
When we were in there, I actually saw one of Chuck's friends.
Yeah.
And so when we couldn't get any of these things into the car, I was like, is Brian still here? He's like, that's a good idea. So his buddy met us in the parking lot. We were going to put things in his car.
But you were saying we got some
great stuff.
Good stuff.
We got some really, really good stuff. And so I'll get with Eric over the next day or two to, bundle these packages and prizes together. But
yeah, because baskets, bundles, things like that. That's going to be the order this year.
Tumblers.
Yeah.
I have a dumbass Costco question. Can you buy gold bars at Costco?
You
Yes.
can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've thought about. I've never owned like an ounce of gold, and the price just keeps. It's one of those things you can kind of depend upon.
It's like an investment.
Yeah, as an investment. I mean, what are you going to do with it? I mean, just look at my gold bar. But yeah, as an actual investment.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just brought up, because I saw one of the most bizarre commercials I've seen over the weekend. The commercial starts off this way. Years ago, I was driving my truck and I swerved to avoid a bear.
Okay.
And he goes, in my settlement, I came into some money and I purchased some gold.
Okay.
And I'm like, how does the bear dodging preamble lead us to investing in gold?
Yeah. Why not you can just go right into I bought some
years
gold.
ago, I decided to invest in gold. But I swear to God, I look at my wife and go, did you just hear that?
Lead with the bear thing.
This bear, he's an interstate trucker who swerves to, I'm like, well, maybe he was injured, or the bear, or there's an animal refuge. No, it's about investing in gold.
I got to see this commercial.
Yeah, I swear to God, watch for it. You'll see it.
All right.
I've got to check that out.
You avoided a bear and ended up investing in gold.
How much is a gold bar?
enough to save a bear's life.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you want to buy 1 ounce, it's whatever the.
I want the one that they have at Fort Knox. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God, those things weigh pounds.
Yeah.
So an ounce of gold is somewhere in the $2,000 range, Nick. I think somewhere.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
$26.99.99 right now. You can buy-
$26.99.
Well, at Costco, as of October, you can buy one for about $2,700.
So if you figure that's 1 ounce and a gold bar, is got to
Maybe I
be
just get
like
an ounce.
5 pounds, probably.
Well, yeah, even like a gold brick.
Yeah,
that's what I was
those
thinking.
actual gold bars. There's a you can go on YouTube and do the years and years ago. They opened up the doors of Fort Knox, and that's our gold reserve. That's the United States Gold Reserve, which is not really as what it used to be.
There's not parity like there used to be.
No, but it's still there, and they still guard it and everything. But they took cameras inside to show it, and I remember them talking to one of the workers there, and he said, yeah, on the first day it was pretty exciting. But after a while, he's like, I'm just moving heavy crap around. That's what I do.
Before they had done that, the movie Goldfinger, Ken Adams, the famous set designer, or at least famous for me, he had designed on what he thought the interior of of Fort Knox would look like.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he nailed it so closely that
chat
they
with him.
investigated him.
Right.
But so what is Nick, can you do a quick conversion of 5,000 pounds, British pounds, to dollars?
Yes. But I did the other thing first, which was how much does a standard gold bar weigh?
All right, then that'll answer my question.
Which is about 27 pounds.
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were that heavy.
Its
All right.
precise gold content is permitted to vary between certain weights. So, that's the gold bars they store at Fort Knox, Steve. And I'm sorry, what was your other question?
So 5,000 pounds British, and this is the most circuitous way of kind of figuring out how much it would be worth, but 5,000 pounds is how many American dollars currently?
Oh, gold worth. It is worth, oh boy.
By the way, real quick, I did a conversion here, Casey. So one of the 27-pound brick at $2,600 would be worth $70,200.
Oh, that's what you guys can get me for Christmas.
Because in Goldfinger, James Bond gets a bar of gold from the government to entice Goldfinger. At that point, the guy who issues him, he says, we want that returned. It's worth 5,000 pounds.
Oh.
So,
So that's about worth about $160 million.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Now, back then a little less.
Probably less, but still formidable.
Yeah.
Enough to make Goldfinger go nuts.
I went panning for gold at Knott's Berry Farm one time. I got a flake.
Did you get a flake?
Yeah.
I got a flake.
Dad, you're never going to have to work again.
You know what? I've always wanted to go to the diamond.
You can do it in Arkansas.
In Arkansas, yeah. And I mean, it's going to be walking around and you're not going to find anything, but
occasionally they do.
Oh no, they definitely.
Yeah.
I just saw
every year there's like a good chunky one.
Something gets found.
Yeah.
There was a documentary about these places. There's a town that is famous, still has people coming in. Part of its tourism is panning for gold.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, somebody gets something. So, you never know.
I panned for gold in Cripple Creek, Colorado.
Oh, that's cool.
My dad.
Do you ever pan for diamonds?
No, we did not pan for diamonds. No. All right. Well, anyhow, we could go on and on. Just panning. All right, but we do need to take a break and come back and get to the bizarre file. In case you missed it, real quick. Oh, Cripple Creek?
Yeah.
Real quick, in case you missed it, the band is not playing the MMRBQ, but Alice in Chains is.
Yes.
And 3 Days Grace and Mammoth WVH and Dorothy, along with Dead Poet Society, Octane, Return to Dust, and our local shots artist, Fat Mez. Tickets for MMRBQ, which, by the way, the show is going to be May 10th this year, Saturday, May 10th. And tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. Early bird lawn tickets are just $25 plus fees while supplies last. Go to WMMR.com and get those details. Get your tickets this Friday. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
I think it's me.
Really?
Yes, when we were out in London, Preston came to see me and my friends. He was there for like 30 seconds, and he was like, I gotta go.
Really?
So I guessed it was me.
Wow, yeah, and you're a little Miss Social Bug, so that's interesting. All right, Nick.
That's funny, Marissa, because I felt the same way about myself. And Preston's been with Steve for so long that I think you guys can talk.
Not in the biblical.
No, to each
sexual.
other about anything. They've done trips together with Casey, gone golfing and whatever. And then I just sort of defaulted to his relationships with Kathy and Marissa. So I'm going to refer to myself in the third person and say Nick.
And Marissa, I'm going to go over there to Casey next.
Yes, we all know that Preston and I share a nice bond with one another. We've had Valentine's dinners by ourselves.
Yes. You have.
We've spent a lot
Shared
of time
D-pics?
with hot tubs together and all that sort of stuff. So I definitely don't think that I'm the answer here. Steve and Preston have a long relationship. Nick and Preston definitely see eye to eye on a lot of things, pop culture wise and stuff like that. So I don't think it's Nick. Marissa, you had mentioned that it was you and your friends, but this question is about singularly and one-on-one. And I think you and Preston have actually hung out and had some good times together as well. One night in particular, after a singles mix or something like that, you guys went out for entirely too long of a time.
Pitcher's Pub.
Yeah.
I need to know more details.
So I had to go with Kathy on this one.
Wow. That's shocking to me. All right, we're going to go to Steve.
All right, now we have had a long relationship, Preston and I, and it's till death do us part. Love Preston dearly, and we have there's a certain relationship we have that I don't think anyone can define. I think, like Casey, you and Preston share more in common than do we, Preston and myself. Mm-hmm. So I think everyone here has something more than I have, at least in that level. And I think we sort of keep a lot of what we share
for the studio,
for the
right?
show.
Yeah.
And that's why I said me.
Yeah. But that makes sense. I get that. And finally, Kathy.
So, like everyone but Casey, they chose themselves,
Yes.
which is also what I did.
You did.
I thought it was me.
Isn't this telling?
What does this say about me? You guys all think I don't like you.
No. It's not about not liking.
I think it's like everyone else better.
Yeah. So tell me, Preston.
All right. I'm going to tell you with an explanation and a follow-up as well.
You don't have that much time, so...
The guys are off the hook because I am more uncomfortable with attractive women when I'm alone with them. So there's that. And
what are you saying?
we have two beautiful women that work here, even though they're very, very good friends of mine. That doesn't change that fact.
Right.
And this person that I would feel I'd have to say, God, it's not that I don't feel uncomfortable with any of you. No, but having to choose, having to pick one, there's one that I kind of seek approval from because she's so great at what she does and a perfectionist in this business, and it's Marissa.
Wow.
So it's important to me what she thinks of me, and so therefore I would be a little nervous. Now listen, about that night in London, I'll tell you what it was. I showed up, you had all your friends there, you didn't introduce me to any of your friends, and you didn't say who I was, and I was kind of mad about that.
The truth comes out.
Yeah,
If we're going to be totally honest, that's why I closed down.
And it nagged at him for months.
Till this
Marissa.
very moment.
Oh my God.
No.
How could you? How could
And
you?
waiting in the waiting room is a therapist to work with both of you.
I'm sorry,
Dr.
Preston.
Joyce Brothers.
I guess I didn't want to be like, hey guys, this is Preston.
But
you guys know Preston.
Your lack of decorum has won you the point. So there you go.
There you go. Nice job.
That's the point.
We're moving over to Steve Morrison right
We'll
now.
hug later.
All right.
A little known fact about the enigma that is Steve Morrison is that his great-grandparents on his father's side lost their lives to Titanic, both having choked to death on Twizzlers during a matinee showing. With that in mind, if Steve was Rose from the movie Titanic floating on that door with room for only one member of the Preston and Steve show, who would he save?
Wow.
Man. All right, 15 seconds to write your answer down. That's hysterical.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was easy.
That was easy, huh?
That was easy.
I wrote it down right away.
Oh, I can't wait to get there. Okay, we're going to start with you, Kathy. Who is it?
Okay, so after today's conversation, if we were on the Titanic, we would have had to pack in suitcases or in a hotel room, a little tiny hotel room you have to share with somebody. We had no idea that this was going to go down. So he is going to save me for sure.
Oh.
Great reasoning.
Wow. I like the part about going down. Steve.
I'm last.
Steve.
He's last.
Yes.
He goes last. So
That's right.
Yeah,
Nick, I'm sorry.
I'm going with basic math here, and Steve is going to need more room, so I'm going with the tiniest member of the Preston and Steve show, Marissa, so they can both fit on the door.
Wow. Okay,
All right.
Marissa, we'll go to you.
Well, the true Steve Morrison would actually give up the door and let two other people
very
go.
nice.
Just as
You're
with
right.
Steve.
Oh, my.
She's
Because
right.
this is a hypothetical. I also agree with Nick, and it would be me just for size reasons. That's it.
Size matters. Okay, Preston.
Okay. This might be a little selfish, but without Preston, there ain't no Preston and Steve show. And we still have a future to think about after this horrible tragedy. Well, I'm saying me.
All right.
Yes.
Casey?
So I would think like right after everybody got rescued, Steve would go back to work the very next day, and it wouldn't sound good to have the Casey and Steve show or the Kathy and Steve or Nick and Steve and Marissa and Steve. It can only be Preston and Steve.
Yeah, Robin Preston's dead, so that wouldn't work. Okay. And finally, Steve.
All legitimate reasons, but I
Yes.
had to break it down on survival, likeliest to survive in the situation. Both Kathy and Casey are swimmers. Casey has saved my life here in the studio, but they are both capable swimmers. Preston is very resourceful and could survive, I think. Nick as well. And for the person I think who would be in the most dire situation vis-a-vis their size and lack of insulation, Marissa.
Wow.
Just because you guys would all be fine fine on your own.
Not to dismiss Nick's point of extra elbow room on the door.
Nick and Marissa.
Nick and Marissa both answer.
Yeah. All right, what's the point total so far, Case?
I think I have Marissa has 2, Nick has 1, Steve has 1.
All right.
Though if we were packing the way we do talk about, Kathy would have a certain edge.
Steve's love for the world of movies is exceeded only by his love of the world of porn. Disregarding the porn movies, what will Steve say is the one movie franchise he could not and would not live without?
Oh.
15 seconds. Boy, you all seem to know this pretty darn quick. That's interesting. We are going to start with Marissa.
All right. There was an obvious answer, but I didn't go with that one because I'm guessing most of you guys went with it. So I'm just going with Batman.
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 Very nice.
Okay.
Casey, what did you say?
Oh, I went opposite because there have been so many. I know that you love Batman, but you want to have sex with James Bond.
James Bond. Preston.
Kind of the same thing. I know there's so much. Although Connery was his favorite, and Roger Moore did a whole lot of those movies, but I still think he's got a huge fascination with James Bond.
All right.
Yep.
Nick?
Marissa, your answer made me think twice, but I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to go with James Bond as well.
All right.
Kathy?
I just said overall Marvel.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So, Steve, the answer is...
James Bond.
there you go. Yes. What is your fascination with Bond?
Since Bond, my father took me to Dr. No when it came out when I was just super young, and there have been many movie franchises, consistent franchises that have influenced my life, but Bond has been, marathon after marathon after marathon has been just at the core of my life.
Favorite Bond
Batman
movie?
is my... Whoa. Okay, so the one that is the quintessential is probably considered Goldfinger.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My favorite, Connery's my favorite Bond, followed by Daniel Craig, followed by...
Daniel Craig, really?
Right, followed by George Lazenby and Roger Moore. Roger Moore has 2 good Bonds, would be 3, Live and Let Die, For Your Eyes Only, and Spy Who Loved Me. And Timothy Dalton. They're all good. They're all good.
Yeah, all right. So where are we here now?
Casey. Whoever you want to go to.
Casey.
All right.
We're going to do the list of show legends regarding Casey is long and in many cases embellished, including things such as him saying a bubble scubosis instead of multiple sclerosis and being terrified of his home thermostat. This is the first time I'm reading this.
I never said multiple sclerosis.
That's it. It's you're saying it's a false legend.
Which embellished legend about Casey will he say he would love to have go away once and for all? 15 seconds. What embellished legend about Casey will he say he wants to go away and never brought up ever again?
I predict everybody is going to get this one. This is going to be a 5 for
find out about
5
this.
here.
We're going to start with Steve.
There's even in writing this question, I knew it might be a gimme, but we had to go with it just to give Casey the chance to dispel some rumors about himself, including bubbable scabosis and his thermostat. Ranch dressing.
What is it?
His love of ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing. Okay, very good. Kathy.
Yep, love of ranch dressing on pizza, all ranch
Really?
dressing. He loves it.
Nick?
Ranch dressing.
Oh, my, this is me. Marissa?
Because he didn't invent it, ranch dressing.
Preston.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's unanimous.
And we will go to the gentleman himself.
It's not my go-to, okay, guys?
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by Horizon Services. Don't worry about a faulty heating system this season. Relax and schedule a visit from Horizon Services today. Get a new heating and cooling system with no payments and 0% interest until 2025. You guys probably saw this. This very short story, but a Delaware County firefighter dressed as Santa Claus helped battle a house fire on Friday night.
So Delco.
He was attending a Christmas event when flames broke out around 6:45 p.m. It was on a 1,000 block of McClanahan Terrace in Marcus Hook. The fire went to a second alarm before it was brought under control at 7:30 p.m. Authorities say no one was injured, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. But there's a picture of the guy in full Santa regalia
Best
with
Santa
a hose
ever.
putting out the fire. So,
Oh, I love that.
way to go, Chris Kringle. A man was caught on police body camera claiming to be a professional drinker as he was being arrested for causing a multi-vehicle crash.
I'm not an amateur.
According to police,
This is ridiculous.
in Witt, this is goddamn ridiculous.
This is goddamn ridiculous. I'm a professional.
According to police in Wheat Ridge, Colorado, officers arrived at the scene of the crash and asked the driver how many drinks he had. The man said he probably had 10 drinks, and then he also told the officer he's a professional drinker. And verbatim, he says in the video, hey, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a professional drinker.
I'm the only professional drinker in Wheat Ridge, wherever we are.
And then the officer said, oh, okay, all right, gotcha.
Let him go, boys.
The officer then placed the man in handcuffs who appeared to comply. Police said the breathalyzer test showed the driver had a BAC of .326.
Hey, I'm a professional arrester.
Over 4 times the legal limit. Officers said that no one was injured in the crash. Driver's name was not released. In New Hampshire, a Franklin woman is facing multiple charges, including driving under the influence, after police said she drove her car into Lake Winnisquam.
Now, was she a professional drinker as well, or an amateur?
That's a good question. Fire official, she was from the aquatic division. Fire officials said Jennifer Huber escaped through the car window and then crawled across the ice. According to court documents, Huber was drunk at the time.
How did they end up on ice?
With blood alcohol concentration about the legal limit, and the case is scheduled for February. This is messed up. Luxury real estate brokers Oren and Tal Alexander and their brother Alan were arrested and charged with sex trafficking by federal prosecutors in New York on Wednesday. Now, according to the indictment, the 3 brothers worked together for well over a decade to drug, sexually assault, and rape dozens of victims.
Oh, my God.
They allegedly promised luxury experiences, travel, and accommodations to lure women to locations where they were assaulted. Oren and Tal were major real estate agents in cities including New York and Miami, working with an extensive roster of ultra-wealthy and celebrity clients.
Oh, man.
Since June, the 2 have faced multiple allegations of rape and sexual assault in a series of civil lawsuits, with some of the episodes dating back more than a decade. The third brother, Alan, also faces allegations of sexual misconduct. The brothers were all arrested at their respective homes in connection with federal search warrants. They often worked with party promoters to ensure that there were a sufficient number of women present at their events, and also procured drugs, including cocaine mushrooms, GHB, which was often slipped into women's drinks.
The allegations are that this is the world Diddy has been operating
Right,
in. Yeah.
exactly. And so these guys are facing some serious charges, could put them away for a long, long time. But they were apparently high-profile, well-known real estate guys who were using that to get these women in that position. Messed up. All right, in Albuquerque, Curtis Van had a clear bug up his butt about wanting to get arrested. Van had a long and rich history with local law enforcement, having been convicted of previously stealing a U-Haul, stealing thousands of dollars from a Target store, and even starting a fight in a police substation. And now he's facing charges related to a rock-throwing incident. Van was throwing rocks in the direction of a female officer. When asked if he needed help with something and if he wanted to get arrested, he continued throwing rocks. Then he asked the officer if that was, quote, good enough to get arrested.
You know what this reminds me of? The character Ernest T. Bass from the Andy Griffith Show. Remember the guy who used to throw rocks to get arrested?
Yeah, he wanted to be put in the tank. He had nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So that officer was at the location on another call, and it turns out that another call was made by Van just to get the attention of that officer. The officer then asked Van why he wanted to go to jail, and he replied, I just do. After being cuffed, Van asked the officer to double cuff him and told her about his previous arrests. This time around, he's facing charges of assault on a police officer and making a false police report, and there are competency issues to see if it comes when he needs to stand trial.
Sure.
Yeah. Here's a follow-up story. Talk about another messed up individual. A man who was captured on video attacking a judge in a Las Vegas courtroom after vaulting over her bench and desk has been sentenced to decades in prison.
Is this the guy they call the flying felon?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, because he literally became airborne.
Deborah Redden was ordered, Diabra, I guess is how you say his name, was ordered to serve between 26 and 65 years in a Nevada prison after the attack on Clark County District Court Judge Mary Kay Holthus.
It's wild footage because he clears the bench and lands right on her.
Yeah, Redden pled guilty but mentally ill in September to attempted murder and other charges, ending his trial shortly after. Holthus had testified that she feared for her life when Redden vaulted over the 4-foot-high bench and landed on her. It happened as she was about to deliver his sentence in a separate felony battery case. The violence scene was captured by courtroom video and showed the 62-year-old judge falling back at her seat against a wall as Redden flung himself over the bench and grabbed her hair. Holthus suffered some injuries but was not hospitalized. Redden's defense lawyer, Carl Arnold, has said that his client was not taking his prescribed medication to control his diagnosed schizophrenia at the time of the attack.
You're actually going to laugh when you hear the explanation.
Redden said in court Tuesday that he did not intend to kill Holthus. He said, "I'm not making excuses for my actions, but I'm saying I'm not a bad person. I know that I did not intend to kill Mary Kay Holthus." Redden will be eligible for parole sometime in 2050, by the way. And there you go.
There you go.
That is what I have in the bizarre file for you for now, my friend. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Let's do another one.
Yeah?
Yeah. Let's do another Christmas Miracle Pass giveaway right now.
It's a Christmas miracle.
All right. We're going to take caller number 8 at 215-263-WMMR. If you're able to join us, then you will be at the Colonial Theater in Phoenixville on Thursday, and maybe we'll call your name, and maybe you'll come up on stage and play a game and walk away with some great prizes, or maybe you'll just sit there and win a great prize, because that can happen too, and it's presented by Phoenixville First. But make sure you wear your ugly sweater, because it's a Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition, and somebody's going to get beer for a year from Miller Lite. So caller number 8, 215-263-WMMR is the number. Give us a call. We will take a quick break, and we'll come back in just a second, so stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
Now my favorite dressing.
What is it about ranch dressing that you like?
It is actually pretty yummy with pizza.
Do you have the isolated audio of just you freaking out anywhere, Kay, so we could play it for Mark, just so he has an idea?
I don't know. You know what?
We don't have to play the whole thing, but...
The crowd loves that idea, Preston.
See if oh, wait, hang on a second. It's recording. All right.
Yeah, why did that happen?
Yeah, there was a moment on the show where we brought up the fact that Casey was dipping his pizza in ranch dressing.
Thank God it was a pizza.
And yes.
There was a question as to whether that was calorically wise.
Yeah, here we go.
Can I make a suggestion without being insulting?
Yes.
Try pizza without ranch dressing.
Listen, you a-holes. When was the last time you saw me with ranch dressing?
Okay, can I jump?
And by the way, I don't always eat pizza with ranch dressing. I didn't invent it. It is something that I tried like within the last year. All right?
Okay.
Drop the friggin' ranch dressing. Drop it.
I will say this. I have seen you eat pizza at last 6 or 7 times.
Hear a little bit more of this.
Without dressing.
Did you say 6 or 7 times?
I have not seen him have dressing on his pizza in quite a while.
And it's not something I invented. It was like I tried it because I saw a girl with a nice frame. As a matter of fact, tried him like ranch dressing on your pizza. All right, I'll try it. And then he did it like 6 times. And next thing you know, I'm making ranch dressing pizza sandwiches or something. Shut up!
It's still just as funny.
Oh, my. I've never heard you so whacked.
Can I get a point for that easy question?
One of my all-time favorite moments on the show.
We need to move on. In many ways, Casey is sort of an ongoing lab experiment producing flatulence at an alarming rate. Who will Casey say is the one show member he takes the most joy farting in front of?
Oh, my
Joy?
God.
The most
Joy. And you don't end a sentence with a preposition, by the way. But who does he enjoy farting in front of the most? Gee whiz.
All right.
Got
I'm
it
in.
down there?
I'm
You're
good.
in? Everybody's in? We're going to start with you, Preston.
Now, initially I was going to say me, but I don't think that happens anymore because I'm disgusted by it. It bugs me, and he will do it sometimes in front of guests that we have in here. Oh yeah, out loud.
It's the
and
ranch
I'm like,
dressing.
dude, come on, stop it. And oh my God, Mark, some of them are they're deadly. But I think he gets a kick out of actually doing it in front of Kathy more than anybody else. I think he finds that funny, but that's my guess.
Marissa.
That was my initial guess, Preston, was Kathy, but I thought he actually, like, deep down gets embarrassed to do it in front of Kathy. He knows I get mad at him when it happens on his way into the studio, so I figured the only person that might giggle at it was Preston.
Okay.
Okay. Nick.
I think because it pisses her off so much that he's going to go with Kathy.
And Kathy.
It's so disgusting. It's so awful. Yes, he does do it when there's guests in the studio.
No, he doesn't.
It's the worst smelling thing ever. It's awful. It's so stupid. It's childish. I hate every second of it. But I think that he gets a kick out of Preston's response at how angry it makes me. So I went with Preston.
Oh, there's an interesting look at it. Steve?
I'm going to echo Kathy's sentiment and say Preston. Yeah.
All right, Casey.
I will have to say, because he's not an official member of the show, but an honorable mention goes to Chuck. I mean, if he were going to be a part of this, I would say Chuck D'Amico, because Chuck...
He laughs at you.
He loves this. He says that my farts have personality, and they do. But I absolutely love farting in front of Preston.
I would have thought Kathy.
Yeah, no.
Kathy.
Even like when he gets mad, like when they're like silent ones, sometimes I sit there and I just wait for him to smell it.
Well, I'll just
sit next to each other.
So Mark will be sitting here, and I'll see Preston start to go.
Sometimes, I have Lysol back here.
Oh, my.
And Preston will just be in the middle of talking, and there'll just be a little...
I'll just do that. Oh, my God. I'm learning more about this show.
I really do go into, like, other rooms. If we have guests in the studio...
You've gotten better.
Yeah.
You've gotten better. What are the totals on the points so
I can't
far?
remember who answered Preston on that one.
Steve did.
I did.
And Kathy and
me.
Marissa.
Kathy.
Yes.
All right, so Marissa's now in the lead.
4.
With 4. Steve's got 3, Kathy's got 3, Nick's got 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kathy is our
tight.
next subject.
All right.
It's not a stretch of the imagination to say that if Kathy Romano had written the musical Rent, we would not be singing Seasons of Love and instead would be singing Seasons of Activities.
Yes.
Fall, winter, spring, or summer, which season will Kathy say yields her favorite time-killing, energy-sucking activities?
Oh. I got it.
That's a great question.
Will Kathy say yields her favorite time-killing, energy-sucking activities? Is it winter, spring, summer, or fall?
Okay.
And we're going to start with Steve.
This is sort of a tough one, but I know that Kathy and I share a lot of the similar loves of the various holidays. And now while Christmas is a
That's why
money...
you should have saved me on that ship.
Christmas is a money shot. I think, though, the stuff that happens around fall, between Thanksgiving and Halloween...
Oh, all that stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
all that
got it.
stuff and all of the access to it is
And with an
something-
8-year-old, you're busy doing. Yeah, I got it.
Right.
Okay,
and,
Nick.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I think just because I think it's your favorite time of year, that you love the season itself, that I went with fall as well.
Ah.
Fall activities.
Marissa.
Because they're so universal, they happen inside and outside, and I'm pretty sure it was your very first list. I'm guessing that. I went fall.
Fall activities.
Preston.
I'll just hit this. Yes.
And Casey.
I'll just hit this.
Fall activities.
And we'll go to Kathy and find out that the answer is.
So although summer is my favorite time of year, I get depressed when summer is over, and the way I get over my depression is through fall activities.
Everybody wins on that one. Wow, that's good.
Cool.
The second question about Kathy on the Preston and Steve Show. Kathy is often playfully painted as a somewhat asexual being who thinks foreplay is laying down a protective tarp. Remind me to tell you Dr. Ruth's story a little bit later. That said, what will Kathy say is an appropriate amount of time for a woman to wait before getting intimate in a new relationship? While we're looking for a closet in weeks.
Marissa and I are going to differ
This
on
is
this.
Kathy. We will allow your answer to be in years.
So we're looking for weeks.
Yeah. Weeks? The closest in weeks. Yeah, we're looking for closest in weeks. This is Kathy.
Hold on, I need a calculator.
Well, yeah.
So
what will Kathy say is an appropriate amount of time for a woman to wait before getting intimate in a new relationship?
All right.
All right. People
in.
writing their answers down. You're in? Well, I don't think so. Casey.
Okay, I this is a really, really tough one. I don't think you're as prudish as one would think, but like first date, 1 week, no. 2 week, no. 3 weeks, no. 4 weeks, I think is a nice safe assumption.
All right, Casey says
about
4
a
weeks.
month.
About a month. Marissa.
I said that Kathy would approve of holding hands after 3 months.
Whoa.
Wow.
12 weeks.
Oh, Preston.
I think she's more of a slut than we believe she is. And I'd say Kathy would be cool. That maybe not for herself, but if she were to give advice, I'd say 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
That's a short one, yeah.
All right. Steve?
I agreed with Casey, and I think 4 weeks seems about right.
Okay. Nick?
First of all, I can't wait to hear that Dr. Ruth story. And then, second of all, I went with 3 weeks.
All right. It's all over the board.
Wow.
Kathy, are you a prude?
Okay, so I'm going to go initially with when I read this question, what my answer was going to be. And the question is going from one relationship to the next, how long you should wait in between, correct?
Yes.
Oh,
I thought it was after the first date.
After the
how long
first
to have sex?
Getting intimate, yeah.
date, before getting intimate with someone.
Okay, so you meet somebody, how long will it take before you,
Right.
as they used to say, make whoopee?
Oh, all right. Okay. So from the first date. All right, then I need to rethink this because if it was from one relationship to another, I was going to say 24 weeks, 6 months.
Okay.
But I'm going to say, after the first date, and I forget what everybody said, but I'm going to say 4 weeks.
And Steve. Wow.
All right, so point each.
All right, Steve, you are now tied with Marissa at 5.
All right.
I have 3. Kathy has 3. Preston has 3. And Nick has 4 going into the... Nick, you are stuck with 4.
I'm done.
You're done.
That's right, because Nick is going to... Wait, do we...
We have Marissa as well.
Marissa.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Okay,
So there's still a chance for everybody.
We'll do Nick. A penny saved is a penny earned is more than just a maxim. It's also what you whisper in Nick's ear to make him horny. And while we kid Nick about his frugal way of life, who will he say is the next cheapest person on the show? So Nick being the cheapest, who would be the next cheapest human on the show?
Who will
15
Nick say?
seconds.
Yes.
Yeah, Nick will say this person is the next
got this
cheapest.
one.
You got this one?
Yeah, I
We'll
got
start
this
with you then, Preston.
I think that wasn't that long ago. When was Wednesday? 215-263. WMMR. All right, let's see if you know the answer to that. This is one you'll not be able to guess. You had to have heard it. When was Wednesday? 215-263 WMMR. By all means, call because you might win if you know, and we'll do the trash while you're calling.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Family and Company Jewelers. You can get your holiday shopping done and check off your whole list with one stop to Family and Company Jewelers. South Jersey's holiday diamond destination, Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey. Or online at familyjewelers.com. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, OnlyFans star Lily Phillips revealing that her parents did not approve of her recent stunt of having sex with 100 men in 24 hours. Phillips says her parents feared the stunt might make her look like a floozy. Oprah and bestie Gayle King stepped out in New York City to celebrate King's 70th birthday. The two took in Manhattan's trendiest new restaurant, Siciliano, which offers fondue fountains filled with Ozempic.
Oh my God.
Finally, Madonna, in another controversy, posting AI images of Pope Francis appearing to get very handsy and fresh with the diva. The Pope reportedly found the pictures laughable, commenting that he would never, quote, cop a feel off that bag of meat. Wow. And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's see if you know. When was Wednesday? 215-263 WMMR. We will go to Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, when was Wednesday?
Wednesday was Saturday.
Wednesday was Saturday. Yes, that is correct. Hang on, bud. We're going to give you a pair of tickets to see Def Leppard Saturday, June 28th at the Borgata Event Center in Atlantic City. And tickets are on sale now. TheBorgata.com for tickets and information.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, brought to you by Wawa. They've got you covered with a gift card for everyone on your shopping list, from Wawa gift cards and e-cards, or a gift card from your favorite brand. Happy holidays from Wawa. So we mentioned earlier the details about MMRBQ 2025. I'll just reiterate all that right now. The show this year is going to be a spring show, May 10th at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Some people ask, well, why? I saw some text. Why are you guys doing it in the spring this year? A lot of it has to do with what bands are available and when they happen to have a hole in their schedule.
That's the way of it sometimes.
And that is geographically friendly to, everybody else.
Yep.
And so that's when it works out this year. So May 10th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion, and it will star Alice in Chains, 3 Days Grace, Mammoth, WVH, Dorothy, Dead Poets Society, Octane, Return to Dust, and local shots artist Fat Mez. We're also planning on bringing back the Preston and Steve Show Side Stage, with live band karaoke featuring Sidearm and a DJ set with Jackie Bam Bam. I'm sure more bands like Side Stage bands, stuff like that, will be announced down the road.
And what I can tell you is, obviously, we've loved the weather in September, but May 10th should be pretty good.
Yep, we're hoping for it. Tickets are on sale this Friday, 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster. Now, there are early bird lawn seats that are available as well. They're just $25 plus fees while the supplies last. Listen all this weekend because we are going to have blocks of bands from the MMRBQ and your chance to win tickets. And you can also get the details at WMMR.com/MMRBQ, including another chance to win tickets there. Speaking of MMRBQ, there's a story about an alum band, and that is the fact that it was a rare reunion for the surviving members of Soundgarden over the weekend. The group disbanded after the death of Chris Cornell in 2017, obviously, but on Saturday they took the stage at the Showbox in Seattle for the 13th annual Smooch benefit for the Seattle Children's Hospital. Guitarist Kim Thale, bassist vocalist Ben Shepard, and drummer vocalist Matt Cameron were joined by Shayna Shepard for a 6-song set that also featured vocals from Duff McKagan. The Nude Dragons, as they were called, because it's a anagram for Soundgarden, performed for the first time that name has been used by the group since Soundgarden launched its reunion under the name in 2010.
I know a few people that got to go that are connected like within the Pearl Jam camp in Seattle, and they said it was a fantastic freaking show, that everybody was having fun, and that Duff McKagan looks great, sounds great. Cameron had a really good time, so it looked like it was a fantastic night.
Awesome. All right, so drummer Larry Mullen, founding member of U2, has revealed that he has a learning difficulty that makes counting musical bars feel like climbing Mount Everest. He said, I've always known that there's something not particularly right with the way that I deal with numbers. I am numerically challenged, he said. And I realized recently that I have dyscalculia.
He said for a long period of time, he thought Wednesday was on Saturday.
Wow, that's messed up. No, which he said is a subversion of dyslexia. According to the British Dyslexia Association website, around 6% of the United Kingdom population have dyscalculia, which is a specific and persistent difficulty in understanding numbers. A similar percentage of students have the condition in the U.S., according to the Learning Disabilities Association of America website. He said, when people watch me play something, they say, you look pained. And he said, I'm pained because I'm trying to count the bars. He said, I had to find ways of doing this, and counting bars is like climbing Mount Everest. Mullen, who is 63, opened up about his recent diagnosis while talking about his upcoming documentary film, which is called Left Behind, which explores the story of a group of frustrated and determined moms who worked together to open the first public school for dyslexic students in New York City. So his eldest son has dyslexia.
Okay, so this is something that he has always had or developed recently?
I guess he's always had it. Yeah, so
I mean, it's odd that he would be as proficient a drummer as he is.
Yeah, he's had to work, really hard at it to make it happen. So interesting, and I've never heard of that before. Kiss is reinventing their concerts with some state-of-the-art virtual technology. That's at least what Gene Simmons recently claimed. Partnering with Pop House, the band is apparently creating a jaw-dropping, never-before-seen experience using motion capture done at Industrial Light and Magic to make sure that their upcoming Avatar concerts feel and move like us, he said. Simmons hyped up the tech, joking, imagine a caveman goes to IMAX and experiences a 3D event. They just wouldn't understand it.
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
They're cavemen.
Yeah.
They're living in caves.
The rocker
They're idiots.
also said that the event would be incredibly immersive, like using virtual reality glasses without the glasses. The concerts, whenever they start to roll out, will feature fully controlled environments with sound, heat.
It's like a fly in your Chardonnay.
Sound, heat, and visuals, which will require specially designed venues. So it sounds like they're going for the Sphere type of thing, but I don't know.
I don't know.
You know,
Who knows, man?
if it is not over the top, earth shattering, I think it'll be a pretty stupid idea.
Unless you
to
go
charge tickets for people to come and see a not real performance. You know what I mean?
Right. It needs to look like, in every way possible, that they are up on the stage.
Yeah.
That's what it needs to look like.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it can't be $250,000 a ticket. It has to be a discounted price to make it worth your while.
Yeah.
And if it has some of the elements of the Spahir, then okay.
Yeah, but the proof will be in
the pudding.
In the pudding. Thank you, Gene.
In the chicken pudding.
Do you like pudding?
I do.
Okay.
Tapioca.
Okay, tapioca is your favorite.
It's my favorite. It's what the samurai warriors used to eat.
6 custom.
God, look at these guys without their. We're looking at the footage of them without their makeup. They look like it looks like old Jewish mothers.
Well, they're in their late 70s, probably, right? Something like that. Mid 70s.
I'm your booby.
Yeah. 6 custom drum kits owned by Poison drummer Ricky Rocket, stolen from Don's Drum Vault in Bellevue, Washington, have been recovered. They were also reportedly returned undamaged. The thieves were caught attempting to sell the kits at a guitar center whose staff alerted police. And Don Bennett, the operator of Don's Drum Vault, praised the drum community and law enforcement, saying this is a big win for the good guys. Bennett also expressed gratitude for the cool and quick action of the Guitar Center employees and the professionalism of the Burien Sheriff's Department. The stolen kits were valued at about $100,000 altogether.
Damn.
Good work, fellows.
And then, thanks, Gene. And then finally, the 2025 class of Metal Hall of Fame has been announced. And it is, the 9th annual Metal Hall of Fame Charity Gala, which will be scheduled for Wednesday, January 22nd at the Anaheim House of Blues Grand Theater. The list of people being inducted in the hall on the, quote, most important night in hard rock and heavy metal are...
It's got to be then if they say it is.
Dimebag Darrell Abbott.
Okay. I thought he'd be in already.
Ricky Rocket from Poison, who we just mentioned in that last story. Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein of the Misfits.
Okay.
Burton C. Bell of Fear Factor. Jeff Young of Megadeth and Kings of Thrash. And then Alyssa White Glutz of Arch Enemy, Dangerous Toys, and KNAC or NAC. I'm not familiar
No
with
Josh
that.
Groban?
No Josh Groban.
That's weird.
You would think.
Yeah.
With a talent like that he would be all over that, but no, apparently not. So these are the nominees.
There's got to be a metal version of that song, right? You would think.
Imagine.
Some band covered it at some point.
Oh, so wasn't he going to be in town a little while back or something like that? We were hoping to get him on. All right.
We are actually fans of Josh Groban.
That is all I have in music news for you. So we can take our final break. We'll come back in a second and get the letter a day for the word of the week. So that'll be next. Hang out. Somebody who knows a good bargain and is the queen of returns would absolutely look, and she looks for coupons all the time. She looks for special deals. It's got to be Kathy.
Got to be Kathy.
Got to be Kathy.
My wife's the same way.
Yep.
All right, Casey.
When you said Queen of Returns, I was so relieved that you didn't say me. But I was thinking the same exact thing. She never pays for shipping. Yeah, so Kathy Romano. No doubt.
Okay. Marissa?
I actually think that Casey's family is just, I think your wife is the same, and I think your family, and I think it bleeds onto you a little bit. So I'd say Casey.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, in a good way. All great ways.
Kathy?
Oh, okay. So I did not think of myself. I don't think of myself as cheap, although I love a coupon and don't like to pay for shipping. I won't not buy it if I don't find the coupon.
Really?
Yeah, and just because.
But you like quality too, though.
Yes,
so,
and I like quality items as well. I went with Preston because I
Why?
believe that Nick and Preston, when we talk about tipping conversations, they always have a similar opinion. So so I went with Preston.
Okay. And what is, just briefly, what is your tipping deal?
Just that Steve always goes over the top, and they'll do like the standard tip, like what's listed, and and not really go over.
Tip
like
based on performance, not just
Right.
Steve is going to tip over tip no matter what.
I always over tip. I always do. Steve.
So, and for that reason, because Preston is not cheap at all, but we have those conversations on air, and when we talk about the tipping, those two will take that angle, and so I said Preston.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, survey says.
Well, it turns out that Kathy and Steve are right. I went with Preston.
Wow.
And it was because of the way that we think about stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And because you're kind of cheap.
He's very generous.
I'm joking.
You see my bill from the vacation I just took?
Do you hate it when they include the tip without asking you?
No.
That doesn't bother you?
That doesn't bother me. In fact, added gratuities I'm fine with. But if I did get service that was not good, I think that it reflects on the tip. I mean, absolutely.
Do you talk to the server and say this is why?
No.
Never done that.
I can't tell you the last time that I had really bad service and I left anything less than 20%.
Okay.
But I mean, but I usually 20% is about right for me. So
okay. Okay. Second question about Nick. Anyone who knows Nick knows his passion for music and his love of both Eddie Vedder and Dave Matthews. I hate Dave Matthews. This begs the question: which of the following two scenarios will Nick pick? Eddie violates Nick while Dave Matthews directs, or Dave Matthews violates Nick while Eddie directs.
Wow.
Steve Morrison, you are a sick man.
I love that I got a gay joke and a cheap joke.
Yes. So Eddie violates Nick while Dave Matthews directs, or Dave Matthews violates Nick while Eddie directs. All right, that's what we're looking for. We're going to start with Steve.
Well, I thought about this, obviously.
Apparently you have.
And I think that Nick holds both of these gentlemen in high regard, but I think Nick is more concerned with how Eddie would think of him, so he would prefer to have Eddie direct him being violated by Dave Matthews.
Okay. Eddie directs is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay, Kathy?
No, I went opposite. I think that Eddie definitely violates him because if a man is going to violate him, it's going to be Eddie Vedder, and it's just a bonus that Dave is there. So
Just a what?
A bonus that Dave is there.
Okay.
So
It's just a bonus.
That's interesting.
he can direct.
All right, Marissa?
I think that Nick probably enjoys Eddie's voice more, so Eddie directs.
Look, and we've got
And I drew a picture.
visual aids.
She drew a picture.
Oh, my.
I thought it would be mouth and not.
No, it's from behind.
Yeah.
Oh, Preston.
Creative ingenuity.
you know what? This is actually, I have a new band name from this.
What is it?
Grunge Cuck.
Grunge Cuck. I love
Grunge
it.
Cuckle. I think that Nick's deep love for Eddie Vedder would mean that he would want him deep inside of him. So I'm going to go with Eddie violating while Dave directs.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
And Casey Boy.
I did the same thing. I think he would love to have Eddie in him, and also opposite of what you were saying, Marissa. I think he likes Dave's speaking voice more.
That's interesting.
But when Dave Matthews sings, he sounds like a billy goat to me. Okay, I don't know.
He does kind of,
He does, right?
But maybe in the
Mumbles a little
bedroom,
bit.
it's a little bit more.
Could be.
I genuinely appreciate all the thought that all you guys put into each, and the drawing, Marissa, was the pièce de résistance.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with I would love to have sex with Eddie Vedder no matter what.
And Dave is directing.
Yeah, Dave is directing.
How do we do on the points on that one, Casey?
I don't remember.
I didn't get a point.
I did.
Okay. All right, and then Preston, what did you say?
I did. I got
okay.
a point, yeah.
All right, so we have Preston at 5, Marissa at 5, Kathy at 5, Steve at 6, Casey at 4.
So Steve at 6.
God bless our callers. They've been on hold for 30 minutes now. That's
Sorry, guys.
Hang in there, guys.
So
All
sorry
right.
about that.
We leave the best for last. Marissa. It is no secret that Marissa spends a lot of time out on the town attending the trendiest events, often having to check her license to remember where she lives. Of all the multitude of events, parties, clubs, etc. that Marissa attends or frequents, which will she admit makes her feel the most pompous? All right, she goes to events. Whenever I used to live here, I'd run into her at 2 in the afternoon and 2 in the morning. And the question is, which of all the events she goes to makes her feel the most pompous? interesting question. We're going to start with Steve.
This, to me, even as writing the question, I thought, is this too easy? But I figured, what the hell, why not go for it? I'm going to have to say Dinner en Blanc.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Fancy schmancy events.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, Kathy.
I said the same thing just because I think she knows the joke behind it and that we all kind of
Make fun of
laugh.
her?
Yeah, laugh that she's going again.
Nick?
The name itself is pompous, so I went with Dinner en Blanc.
Okay. Preston?
I actually know it's her favorite event, though, so I don't know if it would be considered the most pompous, but I couldn't think of another more pompous event, so I went with Dinner en Blanc as well.
Casey?
I honestly couldn't think of anything but Dinner en Blanc.
All right, so Marissa.
All right, so I thought about this long and hard, and I thought about picking up and going to Europe or Cuba or, just going to some random new Mark Vetri restaurant or something. And all of these, you guys make fun of me for being pompous. But even though I feel like it isn't that pompous, but I'm also just defending it, it's got to be Dinner en Blanc.
All right, so the
That's a
scores
clean
remain
sweep.
the same. Steve is still in the lead with 7 correct answers, I believe, now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and so the only ones that can either tie are Kathy and Preston.
All right, last question. To walk a mile in Marissa's shoes is to see the world at a sub-nose level. Which show member? Oh, my God, I can't believe this is the last question.
Oh, my God.
Which show member will Marissa say has the most out-of-control nose hair or cave bats situation? Wow. She's short. She looks up in various places that they think others don't. Preston is in the lead. We could have a potential tie. Then we will go to a tiebreaker question. I have no idea what that is, but we'll figure it out. We're going to start with Casey.
Okay, so it couldn't be me because I pick my nose all the time. So there's virtually never any bats in the cave. I got to go with Preston on this one. I don't really have any other explanation of him.
All right, Preston.
You know what? I've brought this up several times that Marissa has to view nose hairs regularly. I'm the tallest member of the show, so I gotta put myself in that category. She probably sees the most. Yep.
Nick.
I'm hoping it's not me, but I'm going to go with Preston as well.
All right, Kathy.
I went with Preston as well because of the height. His height.
Steve.
I went with Casey.
Wow. Because?
Only because I figured there's a lot of work around there just lodging things, and stuff might be more visible because of that. Though Preston is taller, obviously, and the angle's probably better. I went with Casey.
All right, so potential tie here. Marissa, the answer is...
All right, I'm going to admit something to you guys. There is only one member of the show whose nose I've looked up, and it's because he's constantly pointing it out and seeking my approval. It's Preston.
All right.
There you go.
So, Casey, tell us the score, please.
All right. The final score is, I got to give him one and her one. We have a three-way tie. We have a three-way tie between Preston Elliott, Steve Morrison, and Kathy.
Thought of something else I did one time, but immediately, here I am as an adult thinking I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. One time we were doing a promotion at the Granite Rim Mall with Y100, and we had we used to take a little putter and a putter for the MMRBQ. That's a good song. Certain they will play that song at the MMRBQ, along with the likes of Alice in Chains, Mammoth WVH, who I think we're really stoked about.
Absolutely.
Because Wolfgang was a bit of a kind of a question mark. Is this all this kid's done? And so on. He came out and he played MMRBQ last time and blew us away. And now he's got more music under his belt. And probably, I don't know if he has different band members or whatever, but it's going to be pretty exciting to have him. But along with those bands, Dorothy and also Dead Poets Society, Octane, Return to Dust, and our local shots artist, Fat Mez. So the date is May 10th, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. We have all the details, WMMR.com, and they would make a great gift this year for the rocker on your list. I would like to thank our guest, Mr. Skin.
Hey!
Top 10 nude scenes of the year for celebrities. Top 10 celebrity nude scenes of the year.
It's a good list.
And number 1 went to Demi Moore.
Yes, for The Substance, which
Pretty
is
amazing.
a terrific body horror film, which you should check out.
I do want to see that.
Yeah.
And thank you to the lovely Alicia Witt.
Yay!
Alicia is not only an actress, but also a great musician, and she is performing I think she's going to do her whole Christmas album Think I'm Spending Christmas with You. And she'll be at the Sellersville Theater, and that is tomorrow night. And some tickets remain. She says it's selling well, which is great.
And she's very good. I mean, she's really a top-level pianist, and she has a beautiful voice, and her compositions are totally appropriate for the holidays.
Yeah, she was considered a prodigy as a kid.
Yes.
So she's like that good, like concert pianist style. So you can get tickets at st94.com for the Sellersville Theater. And I think I hit all of that. Hello there, Pierre Robert.
Why, good day, kids.
Nice to see you. How was the weekend?
Very nice, thank you. And we've got a barbecue on our hands.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
it's
very
officially
nice
underway.
Announcement earlier. What tickets on sale?
Friday. 10 a.m.
And the show is this weekend?
It's this weekend.
Okay. Excellent.
Unlike the shows a year in advance, we don't do it that far out. So as you always point out, it's not till January of 2027.
It's like ridiculous. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
Further, I mean, obviously logistically, if you're in a band, you've got to schedule these tours. And
Sure.
If you're a promoter, you've got to schedule the venues. But do we really need to buy tickets 3 years out from the next U2 performance in the next century?
Seems to be the way of it now.
Ours is May 10th of 2025.
That's correct.
That's very doable.
That is doable and done.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have a big Emma barbecue weekend, I suspect. to
We do.
celebrate.
We had tickets to give away and the whole deal. So
Oh,
it
nice.
should be pretty
Very
awesome.
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Shall we do the letter?
I think.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter
B as in barbecue.
All right, first letter is a B, and we have a 4-pack of tickets for the biggest New Year's Eve.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, it was my fork.
Oh, that was you? I thought that was him.
No, it was me. Biggest
Yeah.
New Year's Eve party in the city, December 31st, Xfinity Live, and tickets include an all-inclusive food and bar package, live performances by Go-Go Gadget, music, multiple DJs, karaoke, silent disco, bull riding, midnight celebration, and more. 21 and over event, and tickets are on sale now at xfinity.com for all of the information. What you going to do with today?
Well, we're going to shovel.
Oh, we're
Right.
shoveling.
Yeah, shoveling air.
Oh.
We've got our air shovels ready.
Okay.
Tomorrow, by the way, we start decorating the studio. Nice. It's Kathy's favorite time of year. We will also have workforce blocks today of ZZ Top for Billy's birthday, Offspring, and Jimmy Buffett.
All right.
Nice.
Hang on, gang. It's going to be a good Monday, and I will thank our sponsors, the Preston and Steve Show. Brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, the official supermarket of the Philadelphia Eagles. Tomorrow on our program, let's see what we have. Tuesday, so we'll give away a free tattoo from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. Comedian Doogie Horner will be in our studio, which is
Doogie's
cool.
great.
And then this is amazing. We're going to have the Oakwood University Choir here. Now, the reason we're having them by was a few months ago, I saw a random video on Instagram of one of the most amazing vocal performances I've ever heard. And Marissa found out that they were going to be in our area for a show. They're going to be in town. So
That's great.
They're like a 65-piece choir. They're going to bring about 25 of those people by here tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they'll be in our studio, and they're going to sing. They're going to sing a couple Christmas songs, and they're going to sing this one tune, I believe, that we heard on the video that blew me
It's
away.
amazing stuff.
Yeah. So that's it.
They
We're
have
done.
the song "Good Morning, Preston."
That's the
Good
one.
morning,
You've heard it.
Preston.
And this just in. I have 2 more passes to the Christmas Miracle Party giveaway right now. We'll take caller 19 and 20, 215. Caller 19 and 20 at 215-263 WMMR, and you will be headed to the Colonial Theater on Thursday to join us for the Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition, presented by Phoenixville First. So get on board. Let's get you some good stuff. All right, that's it. We are done. Ray John, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye.
Preston and Steve.